everyone. Clarky Shah here. Welcome back to the live stream. Today I'm back.
Yeah.
Today...
I feel like Clark would be an okay femboy. Like, let's be real. Like, that boy would be a twink and a half.
Oh, tetanus, tinnitus.
Hello everyone, Clarky Shah here. Welcome back to another episode of the Shitezcast here, and today we are back with my other host, Rage.
Rage, yep, just Rage. We're just
Rage
stick with Rage
Aimbot.
today.
And we have our special guest of this week's Shitecast. We have Tim Hansen.
What's up, Internet?
What's up, Tim?
Nice to
How
see you.
doing?
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. I
No.
love doing podcasts more than any other form of content at this point because it's the most relaxing, free-flowing,
Oh, 100%.
not always zombies-related thing. So it's really nice to do this. I really look forward to any podcast I can get on. So I really appreciate the invite.
No problem, dude. Now, I know this is your first time being on Shitecast. I had to say this before we started, but this is literally anything. We talk about literally anything.
So how about politics? You want to talk about religion, maybe? I'm voting for it. No, okay.
I mean, you guys can talk about that. I'm not American, man. You guys can talk about that.
Yeah,
You'll
that's
be
right.
American soon.
I'm gonna guess Scotland, Ireland, or somewhere in the United Kingdom, right?
For the first time ever, chat, someone got it right the first time. Holy shit, that's amazing.
Oh, sick. Yeah. I could tell. It's a very endearing accent.
Yeah, no,
Not to flatter you too much, but
no, no. Most people do say that I am Irish, which is a bit of a
I mean, I guess they
bold
sound
statement.
kind of similar, but you can probably discern by little tiny differences, maybe.
Oh yeah, like the little tiny differences. Scottish people, as the Shitecast names, we do talk random shite also. So that's
You guys are the superior UK residents.
yes,
You guys are the best.
yes. Folks, to Tim chat right. This is instantly the best podcast
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious. British people suck. No, I'm kidding.
Tim, what
I'm
about
just
Conjura,
kidding.
bro?
Dude, I know. I have actually, you know what's crazy is at least half the people I talk to online at this point are from the UK.
Are from the
and
UK.
A lot of them are British, so nothing but love to those guys.
No.
But so what have you guys been up to recently? Let's start with you guys. Even though you're the hosts, I would
The
love
roles
to
have been
hear.
reversed.
Yeah, because I feel like I can talk forever about anything, so I would love to hear you guys talk before just in case I go down a rabbit hole of some kind. So.
Well, nothing much. Z for C did just finish. So we're all in a bit of a chill out phase right now because a lot of stuff happened last minute, last second stuff.
Yeah.
I've not been doing much, just the same old wake up, work, come back, work on content, repeat. That's literally all I've been doing.
Grind.
Rage, Rage, you can talk about this because I know this is a game you've been playing.
Bro, that talk for me. I mean, I'm growing,
Well,
I think.
You've been playing First Descent, and I know that. I don't know anything about it.
It's just a Warframe game, pretty much. But other than that, there's a new group channel that has started called Vibes. Literally just started like 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, that's
Nice.
true.
Played Chain Together. I hate some of my friends now, but that's okay. It happens in Chain Together.
Yep.
Other than that, I'm just grinding on my own time. Just having like maybe 100 gigs of footage that never get edited.
Yeah, well,
Almost
I mean that's all good to hear. Z for C was awesome. I am so sore that I had to leave early due to personal circumstances, but man, I had a really fun time. And you know what's funny is I don't know, you had so much to focus on that obviously you weren't watching me and Kajora the entire time. But like we were talking in the beginning, like we're screwed, we have no chance because like a lot of the people that participated were practicing a lot, and like we had assumed, had a lot of specific strategies and everything, and so we hopped on, we weren't expecting to win. We were pretty much expecting to get curb stomped.
Right.
We kind of waltzed in, didn't get embarrassed. In fact, won round 1, so that was really exciting.
Woo!
Had a fun time, and then we got to Leviathan, and then we crumbled like a cheap tent because I've played Leviathan maybe once in my life.
Right.
A couple of years ago. I don't know the layout of that map to save my life, and it showed because I was literally just aimlessly walking around in the gameplay. It was funny to watch. It was definitely like funny, but not. For me, the second round was that was a fall from grace if there ever was one. But all things considered, had a really fun time, and am super grateful that I was able to participate, and really happy that we what was the final amount raised? Was it around like 8K or something?
$7.9K for the Gamers Foundation.
That's spectacular, dude. It's obviously a great cause.
100%.
Glad we were all able to come together as a community and help out. And just have fun in general. So nothing but good as far as I'm concerned on all fronts with that event. And you guys did a really good job. And every single time one of these events happens, there's a little bit of chaos behind the scenes. Like there's no way it doesn't happen because there's just so many people to account for and so many things to do. But all 100%. Things considered, man, really, really good stuff. And I'm glad that I was able to, even if it was for a limited time, to actually participate in that. So
no problem.
Yeah,
we were glad to have you on. We were glad to have you on. It was
of course.
It was a great honor. No, it's out of all the Z4Cs that have happened in the past, this would be the 6th year. This was definitely the best year, like all around. Because I want to say the best year in terms of donations was the second Z4C. The most we raised at that point was only $6,000. And in Z4C 4, before this year, I'd want to say the 4th year was definitely the best year. It was the smoothest event. We hardly had any streaming issues, any game issues. We were on par with that actually donation record as well from Z4C 2 as well. So that's why I would still argue to say that was the best year. But best year all around, though, was definitely this year. Like, we had the mini events, the supporters combine events, the player showcase events, the hype streams, and then of course the main event itself. It was something new, unique. Instead of just relying on like the newer games, Chad, we weren't relying on fucking Vanguard, Zombies, and Modern Warfare. Like, we were not doing that shit whatsoever. So to rely on a game mode like Zombie Blood Rush was great, especially in a tournament bracket style. Was definitely, as far as I'm aware, for like bigger events, is something I don't think the Zombies community has seen a lot. So I'm really glad that we did get that going. And again, a huge shout out to Serious. I can't thank him enough for the amount of work that he put into not only the patch to play Black Ops 3 safely, but to also make a lot for that mod.
That was huge because could you imagine everybody trying to get their like T7 patches, loaded up right before the game?
Oh yeah, because
that was a really cool integration there.
Yeah, no,
that's a really fun game mode. One of the more fun modes I've ever played with zombies.
Oh yeah,
especially since it's been refined in a really good way up to this point. Let me ask you, how many of these events have you done so far? I know definitely at least like 2 or 3, definitely.
Me personally, because I wasn't the original owner of the event. I started owning it last year. It was my first time ever owning it. Even though there were a lot of issues, it actually went okay. But in total, we have done 6. We've done 6 events so far. I think it all started probably with Black Ops 4's release back in Z4C 1. And in Z4C 2 we had like a bunch of content creators, like 11 teams I'm pretty sure it was. So there was a lot of people there. It's been great all around. There's at least something new every year that we'd like to bring to the table for Zombies for Charity. And this year was kind of rough, especially with Modern Warfare 3 and Vanguard being the newest games. So we're like, what can we do? And we definitely thought, Zombie Blood Rush, especially when we've not really done a lot of custom stuff, would definitely be the right approach. And we knew Serious personally because, Tim, I'm pretty sure you, Lex, and the others, they done a Zombie Blood Rush like series. It was called Zombie Manhunt. Am I wrong?
Yeah. We started that a long time ago. I think it was literally actually last year. And we did, I think, the standard BO3 maps. We recorded them, and there must have been a map or 2 we didn't finish because I was going to upload the whole compilation, and it never ended up happening because we just dropped it. I don't know why. It had nothing to do with the mode. We just, like our schedules are just
all over the place.
So whenever you have a group series like that, and I love you, Lex, but Lex is a very difficult person to consistently stay in touch with. This is a well-known thing. by the way. Love you, Lex. Like a brother. But yeah, we all got a lot going on, and we just dropped it for some reason. But I mean, I have footage of it, but man, it was over a year ago at this point, which is actually crazy. It's a fun mode for show.
It makes it even better now because custom mutations, as of recently, I'm pretty sure, Rich, you can correct me on this, was added. What were the features to custom mutations again, Rich?
This is just the base surface of custom mutations. This is literally just the start. I believe we have PvP damage, zombie damage. You can up it, everything up to 500%. So zombies could one-tap you from God knows where.
Realistic difficulty.
Yeah, pretty much. You can play on hardcore. There's modifiers like wager totems. You can keep going up in scale. You'll get different debuffs to make it kind of even if you're someone that has a lot of experience. What else is there? You can turn off sudden death. You can change it to round 5 sudden death, 5 minutes. You can change the point total you need to 5k, 10k, all that stuff. And that's just scratching the surface as of this moment. And I believe there's also in the works of the hunter mode actually being made. Mr. Chuck has requested to make a hunter, kind of like the Dream speedrun stuff he did, the Manhunt. Physically going to have that as a mode now. Which Sirius is working on recently.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff, man. That sounds great.
Yeah.
There's a red. Sirius is like Black Ops 3 Jesus. I mean, he is the savior of Black Ops 3, Brad. You are definitely correct on that. But yeah, no, it was great of him to work on stuff like that. But damn, the rules really did reverse time. You were asking us the questions. We had like a whole list of questions to ask. And you asked the questions first.
Yeah, of course.
But you actually already asked the first question on your thoughts about Z4C and your experience.
Yeah,
so
definitely all around good there.
Yeah,
no complaints.
But not trying to stay with a lot of the zombie stuff. But Black Ops 6, of course, is on the horizon, guys. Sam, is there anything specifically like you're looking forward to this game? Like anything at all?
There's not a specific gameplay feature. People keep asking me what my thoughts are on it, and my answer always boils down to be cautiously optimistic, just like with any Call of Duty at this point.
Right.
And I think if we're being realistic, based purely on what we've seen and not what we will get, because obviously it could be worse, could be better, I would say aim your sights. Expect it to be just about on par with Cold War, which to me was like a 6, 7 out of 10 game. Phenomenal gameplay, mechanically awesome, but really lacked in other departments, like the whole personality department.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah, so like, I think if people are being realistic with themselves, be, cautiously optimistic. I think, because this reveal is reminding me a lot of that Cold War reveal, because it just like, I just, the vibe I get is like, cool. I hear new and returning features. Well, that's a lot of what Cold War was. It was like, hey, we're taking this huge shift, but also here's Jug, here's all these things that you guys bitched about not having before. So I would like I am excited to try it. I'm gonna buy it this time, which is I guess a step up from where I was with Vanguard.
You haven't played Vanguard, have you? You've not played.
I infamously did not buy it.
His soul was saved. He did not.
His soul was saved.
Yeah, so like, and that's another thing. I, for the first time in my life, decided to actually speak with my wallet, and I don't have a problem with people obviously buying the game and giving it a shot every single year, even if it looks bad. Yeah. But with Vanguard, man, when I saw that, I was just like, that was granted, I had a lot of stuff going on in my life behind the scenes, but if we're talking specifically about like just zombies, I finally drew a line in the sand and spoke with my wallet, and I was just like, I'm not going to buy it, because I would be a hypocrite as an influencer if I saw the trailer, wasn't excited for it,
and then just
but just bought it anyways and just shelled out the money, and it's going to be like $120 for like the whole pack or whatever it ended up being, and then I'm going to play it once, I'm going to make a negative review, and then I'm going to continue the vicious cycle. And to me, I played that all out in my head before any of it even happened. I'm like, I just don't want to be a part of that right now. So I didn't buy it, and I guess I stood on my business, and to this day, I'm grateful that I did, would I like to try Vanguard? Maybe like if I lose a bet one day, maybe I'll buy it then. But like I'm cool with that decision even to this day. And so long story short, I never bought Vanguard, never tried it. Did you guys buy it? Did you guys like it?
I bought fucking
like the
5 copies
multiplayer.
of Vanguard, Tim. I bought 5. I bought 5 copies. I got 1 for myself and 4 for 4 of my friends.
Wow.
Oh, worst mistake.
That's-
Though I will say we actually all enjoyed the fuck out of the multiplayer. Like the multiplayer, Rage. I know you can agree with us also. The multiplayer was genuinely fun. I enjoyed the multiplayer.
The only redeeming quality of
that
Vanguard
is legit
multiplayer.
the only redeeming quality.
What about the campaign? What do they do with that? What was that like?
To tell you I don't even remember it should tell you exactly what.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't mind it. Like, there was some cool things here and then, but I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I will say, though, the Shironuma version, Shironuma Reborn, the round-based version of that in Vanguard, I feel like that's probably the pinnacle of Vanguard Zombies, which is sad to say that has a peak of that game. But any time I talk to someone like, what's your favorite version of Shironuma, they're like, oh no, I actually really like the Vanguard version. Like, you've got new areas, there's an Easter egg, there's actually a lot of stuff to do compared to the previous versions, which, me personally, I can agree.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I've seen gameplay.
it's it's alright.
Yeah. So I mean, at least this time around with BO6, it's a game that maybe I'm not like super excited, but the fact that I'm even willing to like buy it in the first place is at least a good sign, probably.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people out there feel the same exact way. So that it is a marginal, if nothing else, step up from where we were. I don't even know how many years ago that came out at this point. 2-3 years. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the 4 years without like a fully fledged chair game. That's right.
Yeah.
Tim, did you ever play Modern Warfare 3 Zombies?
No.
You didn't
See,
buy that
I've been totally. So like after that decision to not buy Vanguard, I did that with the rest of the games. But I've been revisiting a lot of the classic games again because. And I really made it tough on myself. I really boxed myself in when I made that not buying Vanguard video because I like, I kind of just boxed myself in by like I didn't want to play any zombies anymore. I made it seem like I was stopping YouTube forever and that like I had no interest in Call of Duty at all. And that in hindsight, I wish I could take that back because I like revisit the classic games all the time. On or off camera. So I took like a year-long break, basically, after all of that. And then, I started playing zombies off camera. Even though I was taking a break from YouTube, I'm like, why don't I just
play zombies?
I can't, because I do really enjoy the classic zombies, man. Like, I will play those games till the day I die. World at War, BO1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, I'll save my rant on that. The Cold War, a little bit. Man, in Infinite Warfare, I actually just made a video on, and I love that game, and I just played through that for the first time. So, anyways, my point is, man, like, I love classic zombies, and I figured, why not just record it and publish it the same way I'd been doing, and just still continue to not buy the new games. So I felt like I finally, after I took a long break, decided that I wanted to kind of get back into that, because I still had a passion for the older games for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree. Brad says in the chat we all need a break. Trust me, we did get a break with Modern Warfare 2019, and the biggest disappointment for me personally, the reboot of Modern Warfare 2. I was more disappointed in that than fucking Vanguard, man. I had high hopes for Modern Warfare 2. I did not like it one bit.
Yeah, it was structurally so different from regular round-based zombies to me that it was just like I didn't. It's not like I thought it was bad. It was so different that it's like not even it didn't feel like my cup of tea. When I saw the gameplay and everything like that, I'm like, would I really be interested in this? Maybe. I'm not even a big BR guy anyways, so
yeah.
Like I've never been like a huge multiplayer BR guy, so when I saw that I was just kind of like, meh. Like I'm sure I had, people liking it was very understandable. It was just so different.
It was a surprise to a lot of us. A lot of people liked it on launch to like season 1, and then after the reloaded up to season 1, that's really when it took a downhill. Which, to be fair, was surprising for a game not having like round based at all. was really surprising.
It just seems very hit or miss. It seems like something you would really enjoy, or just want nothing to do with. I mean, not much gray area, just because it's so different from like traditional zombies. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree.
Yeah.
Rich, do you have any questions? Because I know we're going to go back and forward with this.
Yes. I was also going to mention the fact that I recently have just started to play Black Ops 1 again. Like, I haven't done any of the eggs. Yeah, no, I played it before. I mean, I'm on the younger side, so, like, I didn't have money to buy DLCs. I literally have just recently done them for the first time with Clarky. It's been really fun, especially the modded eggs.
Dude, I can't say enough good things about that game.
Right? I haven't had any complaints. I'm like, this older game feels more stable than Modern Warfare 3.
I probably don't have the most objective opinion on that game. Like, if people ask me anything about that game, you'll hear nothing but positive things. Even though I know that there are problems with that game, but I have the most rose-tinted glasses when it comes to that game. Like, it can do no harm in my eyes. Like, it's just, I mean, everyone's biased with their first love of a video game, like a Call of Duty. That was my first one when I was 10.
Chat, that's me with Sonic.
Yeah.
Do you have any big plans, like any projects that you're working on that on releasing, or just
So basically, on my main channel, I'm trying to shift. So my main channel, I want to keep a gaming channel forever.
Okay.
But I want to. So I have a little pet project second channel that I'm sure maybe some people heard of. Tim Talks, and I started it a long time ago, and I've only uploaded a couple of videos on there. It's basically just whatever I don't feel like fits on my main channel, I've just thrown over there. So basically, I'm trying to pivot into a second channel for more like personal, like, you know, camera content, like just IRL stuff on the second channel. And then on my main gaming channel, I will continue doing some zombies here and there. Right now, I'm doing a series where I'm revisiting all of the games. Like, so I'm making an individual episode for each specific game. I've done everything up to IW that I just dropped the other day. And then I'm going to do World War II, BO4, then Cold War. And then once I have a specific episode for each individual game, then I'll compile it and make it into a long, like, I'm assuming it's going to be 5-6 hours long of like playing every single zombies map ever, which I have done that kind of thing before, but never with non-Treyarch. So recently, you know, I've played Exos and World War II before, but IW, I didn't really give much of a shot, and I finally did. So that would be the difference, I guess, this time around. So, like, playing literally every single map ever instead of, like, just only the Treyarch maps. So that's the series I've been working on, among other things, on the gaming channel. And, man, I'm trying to start it. See, I streamed on YouTube a couple of times a couple months ago, and what sucks is, I don't know if you guys know about the algorithm and how it works with streaming of videos, but you can't realistically do both on the same channel, unfortunately, because the algorithm is driven primarily by viewer retention. So if you upload, let's say, for example, a 5-minute video, and then you stream for 2 hours the next day, basically all of the viewer retention from the stream, since more often than not people aren't watching an entire stream, kind of dips, and it directly affects your video performance for whatever reason or another. I've tested this myself. I've talked to a lot of guys like Lex and Rabbit, and we've all done these tests, and we all noticed a dip in the viewership. So I streamed like twice, like a half year ago, and I was like really excited to get back into the groove of streaming, which I've never really been big on. And then it dawned over me that was tearing down my view, my video performance. So I was like, damn. Now I got to actually stream on a different platform or make a second channel altogether, so that I could do videos. Because, you know, like, if you plan on only doing videos on a channel, that's fine. If you only plan on streaming on a channel, that's also fine. But if you mix the two, that's where you can get in some trouble. And hopefully they update it one day where that's not the case. But basically, I already have a Twitch channel created, but it's been a matter of actually consistent. I don't want to start streaming until I know I can consistently do it. And I'm a dad of 2 toddlers, and that, let me tell you, it takes a lot of time and energy to do that. So I'm like just limping to the finish line of when they're starting preschool in 2 months, so that when they actually enter preschool, I can have a consistent schedule and like consistently start streaming. So I've been just working on videos in the meantime. But basically, yeah, I learned that, like, I really like streaming. I sparked a love for it again, but then the videos performance just kind of they started dipping, which sucks. It didn't really make a lot of sense. But YouTube is so rigid, bro. It's like they will only promote what makes them money. What makes them money is viewer retention, people watching, thus watching ads. And what drives viewer retention down, like I said, are more often than not like longer format videos or streams in this case.
Mm-hmm.
So it just is so deflating, man, that YouTube is like that. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But basically, that's my long way of saying that, like, I plan on streaming on Twitch consistently pretty soon, and it's like a variety of games. Like, dude, I got a Wii back there. I don't know if you could. Yeah, I don't know if you could see that, but I got my Switch, my Wii. I'm gonna be playing stuff like Mario Kart, Mario Party. I got a GameCube, and I just bought Mario Party 7 for that, the GOAT, the other day. So I'm gonna be streaming some of just like a variety of stuff and zombies with it. And then I'm probably just gonna do some. I'm probably just gonna upload highlight clips on my gaming channel. And if that feels weird, like, I'll try it, because with YouTube, you guys understand. Like sometimes you just gotta throw shit at the wall until something sticks.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the past year and a half for me has been. But basically, yeah, I am gonna just have a gaming channel and an IRL channel, and then just stream on Twitch, and then probably just for the most part upload highlight clips onto the respective channels with whatever I happen to be streaming. I want to do a sleep stream at some point. I've never done one of those, and those look so fun. Like, I've seen Lex's and Rabbits, and those look so fun. So yeah, hopefully within the next like 2 months, I can kind of really actually start consistently streaming. Because I feel like it'd be weird to start and then wait like a month and then do another stream, because then it's just like, you got to be so consistent with streaming if you do it like, especially probably on Twitch, because market is very saturated over there. So
I'll say from my experience, because I made so much progress on YouTube to the point where I just never wanted to stream on Twitch. I could not let that get to me. But during ZWC 3 for the entries, I didn't just always want to stream ZWC on the main YouTube channel. For whatever reason, it just felt a bit off to me. So I was like, I will just stream that on Twitch then, because I need the gameplay, I need the footage, I need the proof that I got to, etc. certain rounds. So I done a lot on Twitch. I got affiliate, all that stuff, but I never stuck to it. But then it was November of last year. I actually got banned for 4 months on my channel.
Oh.
Now, as much as I love the dude, Legend did say something. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad at all. It was something so stupid. I could literally DM you at Tim, and you would literally go, "How the fuck did I get you banned?"
Dude, Twitch is brutal. Like, dude, the first time I realized that. So you remember when Pokemon Go was huge? People would be streaming it, like walking around, like, and they would be doing like whatever. So this dude was walking down the street at night playing Pokemon Go. He got mugged live. Like, he got beaten up and his phone knocked out of his hand. And he got banned from Twitch. I think it was temporary.
Crazy.
Granted, I think it was temporary. But still, the fact that you can get your ass kicked while streaming by some stranger
and then get banned,
and then you get banned, that's crazy. That should not be allowed.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's when I realized, I'm like, damn, that's what scared me away from Twitch. And like, I know a lot of people that used to stream on Twitch too, and they're like, dude, don't do it. Like, especially with how edgy I was like 3-4 years ago. Like, man, I would definitely slip up and say something stupid. Even if it weren't like, just by Twitch standards, like even just saying the wrong type of swear, I feel like could get you in trouble. You know what I mean? I'm not even talking anything egregious. Like, you don't even have to. It doesn't even have to be that egregious. I feel like they'll just kick you out for any reason. So yeah, I always got the impression that Twitch were super oppressive, and I was always just like,
I just sent you what he said. You tell me if that is bad.
Tell me. By the way, that's a YouTube ban.
Oh,
YouTube
yeah, that was a.
That's how it came to Twitch.
Yeah, that's why I went to Twitch. That's what he said. Was not bad at all, and I woke up to it. Like, OG Fortnite came out at the time, and I was like, I hate Fortnite to shit, but I'll do it. I'll do it anyway. Because
that doesn't seem that bad.
It's not, but I woke up to it anyway, and I was like, wait, what did I get banned from? Because I had a warning. I had a community strike warning from a stream year prior, And most of the time they'll provide timestamps on what we said to get you banned and stuff. They never provided any timestamps from the warning, so I was like, so what did I actually get banned from? I had to like skim through my 5-hour stream just to see like what we said. I'm like, there was nothing bad at all in that stream. And then when I got
so I feel like
banned that
go ahead.
time, when I got banned that time, it was stupid. I was like, that's what we said. That's stupid. But
yeah, so I feel like if it were maybe at least I'll give them credit for this. Twitch is always wrong, but at least they're consistently wrong, right? Because if Legend had said the opposite of what you just sent me, then obviously he would have been banned, and it probably would have been even quicker. So so at least they're consistent with how wrong they always are. And I say that to say that, like, man, I was always scared away from Twitch because of that. I'm also a big advocate of free speech in general. And no, I don't mean like you can say anything you want without any consequences. No, like there are very clearly consequences to what you say. But I am an advocate of like you should be able to, for the most part, unless it's like genuinely hateful or harmful. Like I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen my videos, especially from like 2019, but I was pretty out there. And I don't know if you've ever watched a Crazy Rabbit video specifically.
We all have.
Like maybe I'm like here, he's like up here. As far as just like egregious shit people say. Yeah. But I say that to say that like, man, because when you start banning people all the time for like really small stuff, like that's clearly not like harmful, then you have a bunch of idiots that get all these like I don't even know what it's called. Is it called Kick or not? Is it what's the fucking streaming website that just came out that's handing out all these?
I think it is Kick.
Multi-million-dollar contracts.
Yeah, it's Kick. Yeah, Kick.
So you get all these edgelords that keep getting banned on Twitch, right? And they keep getting just handed out multi-million-dollar contracts. Like, hey, here's $100 million. Stream your degeneracy on our platform, and then you get like a whole cesspool of these fucking people.
It's crazy, yeah.
So to me, it's just like you're not really like solving anything by just kicking people out the door for saying stuff like what Legend said, because it's just like then that guy's just gonna get frustrated and go over to the other platform and just probably be even worse. So
I would definitely
it's just kind of a microcosm of like the entire idea of free speech. Like obviously don't be fucking hateful or harmful, but like let's like be a little nuanced about it. Like if somebody says something like that, what Legend said is just like I've heard worse things. Let's just put it down.
There is worse. There has been worse.
like much worse.
Yeah, I mean, like in the context, of course, it was in a joking tone, so it's just kind of weird how YouTube's like, no, we don't care.
It doesn't make it better because like everyone was quiet and then he just said it out of nowhere and we were like, what? It was quiet and then we came back and then he was the only one in the VC. Like we all went away to do something else and when we came back, he was like, dude, and then that's when he said it and I was like, what? I was like, alright, okay. That's a bit of a random sentence. Where's Rabbit? I miss him. Rabbit's not gone.
So he does Fallout. He does Fallout content now.
Oh, does he? I never knew.
He's mentally checked out of zombies. Will that change? Who knows? Maybe BO6 comes out and he's like, I like it, but like, I would be surprised if he makes any zombies videos soon. I don't doubt he would stream maybe, but like I think he's just mentally checked out of zombies. And I would love to have him in my content more. That's probably why they're saying they miss him, because I used to have him in like every other video a couple of years ago. But like, he just, I don't blame him. Like zombies is kind of always had its ebbs and flows, and right now it's
had a lot of ups and downs. And me personally, I didn't mind BO4, but I'm not going to turn a blind eye and go, BO4 was the perfect game. God, no, it was not. But like BO4 was definitely a start of something within the community. Like you can either be like up here, be happy with all the community, join these like event stuff, or you can join, I want to say, me personally, the new era of zombies where it's like you've got these different gameplay mechanics with like game modes like Outbreak and stuff. Like there's different stuff within the community now ever since this new era of zombies. So it is definitely times are changing. Times are changing.
100%. So I was about to ask you guys, what age range are you guys in? How old are you? And people in chat, let me know if what's
20,
that?
about to be 21 in like 19
21.
days.
Now I'm the old guy. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It used to be that I was your age, and then I collabed with guys like Rabbit, who's 5 years older than me, and I used to be the guy that was like, haha, you're old, but no, I'm 23. Okay, so I say that. Okay, so here's.
Sam, you're not
I've
that much
noticed-
older than this. Like, come on, brother, you're 2 years older than me.
I guess mentally I feel 20 years older than I am. I feel like I'm 43 because, I'm a dad of 2 toddlers, and I got a house, and I got all these fucking responsibilities, and wouldn't trade it in for anything. But basically, anyways, I'm noticing a generational shift with the community because, like, obviously you had the OOGs, you had the World of War people, and then you had I think you had a quick little pivot to BO1, 2, and then peaked at BO3, right? Like you had that generation of people, which I was very much a part of. So then I noticed a shift around 2018, 2019 with BO4 and Cold War especially.
Mm-hmm.
BO4 was kind of the start of it, like you said, but Cold War was really the kind of like where I noticed it.
Cold War was more of a shift, I'd say, but BO4 was way more people were like, do I really stay with zombies from now on? Like, is this the direction we're going in? Like, are we not going to stay with the track that we were used to?
Like, because those games to me are kind of like the beauty is I don't know what the expression is. The beauty is with the beholder or some shit like that. Basically, like if you like your opinion on those 2 games, BO4 and Cold War specifically, I feel like are heavily dependent on which generation you're closer to, because I feel I see so many people defend BO4 specifically. But just like they're like huge fans of those games, and that's because those are the games that they grew up on, like because they're a younger generation. And the same thing applies to the old heads like me, who grew up with BO1. I will defend that game till I die. Like I will die on that hill. But it doesn't, like, BO1's not objectively the best zombies game. It just isn't. Like I will be the first to tell you that. But it's my favorite, and that's what I grew up on. And now I'm noticing a new generation of people growing up on like Cold War and stuff, and so like that's like their BO1.
Oh yeah.
So I noticed that, and I used to push back a lot. Like I made a lot of negative reviews about like BO4 specifically, obviously. I've sort of beat that horse dead, shitting on those games, and then it just kind of dawned over me recently. I'm just like, you know what? No matter what I say, even no matter how much evidence I provide of like or objective analysis I provide of like legitimate gameplay issues, like mechanical problems in these games, it's not going to really register to this newer generation because they don't like it's what they've grown up on at this point. So I don't really know where I'm heading with this. I guess I'm just trying to say that like it's interesting because like Call of Duty's been around so long now that there have been 3 genuine, like, entire generations of gamers that have passed through it at this point. Like, well, I don't even remember when the first Call of Duty was. What was it, like 2002, 2003? So it's been 20 years. The first 10 leading up to like, the first like 5, 6 leading up to World of War. There was that generation, and a lot of those people are like literally in their 30s and 40s now, which is mind blowing there. And then you have like the middle generation, like the BO1 to BO3 type of thing, which is kind of like where most of us are, to be honest. And then now you're seeing some young kids, basically like literal kids, popping up in the woodworks with the newer Call of Duties, like in especially like MW. And you're going to see it big time with BO6.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So, like, when BO6 rolls around, do not be surprised. Even if it's objectively, like, got problems, I would not be surprised to see, like, all the kids treating it the same way they
praising
treat,
it as like it's the best game in a sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't even have to make sense because, like, but I get it. Like, and I don't want to be that guy, but, like, ever since I became a dad... like I have to like I'm growing and maturing still and developing, and I feel like now I can kind of see it through a different lens than when I was 19. I can kind of look at it and be like, well, I get it. Like this is beyond me. This isn't like I don't really have to understand it. Like these kids are not in the same like sphere as me, like when I grew up. So like they just see the world completely differently. Even though we're not talking a crazy age difference, but I'm just saying, like, in the microcosm of the gaming world, yeah, you're seeing a huge shift already. Like in BO6, you're gonna see it bigger than it's ever been. You're gonna see like, yeah, the first gen is gone at this point, pretty much.
Yeah.
The second gen, people like me, we're still around, but probably won't be 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Who even knows if Call of Duty is? Let's be honest.
Right.
But at this rate, and then there's this Gen 3 of the Call of Duty community that's kind of taking over. They've got like you're seeing it on YouTube too. Like a lot of YouTubers, there's a total new wave. Like it used to be like it used to be like the syndicates, the Milos, the Daleks, like all of these like well-established old heads, OGs. Yeah. And then there was a newer generation. It was like Lex, and it was Pat, and it was after a little while, it was like the Z House. I'm sure you guys at least remember some of that. And then and now there's this generation on YouTube that's like I've noticed so many people popping up, and like the zombies I feel like already peaked as far as on the YouTube side of things, like community side, just because like motherfuckers used to literally upload a top 5 and it would get like 10 million views. So like, I don't think that's ever gonna happen again.
Done really well.
So that'll never happen again. But like, so maybe the amount, like the quantity of views will never be at the same again, but the quantity of creators is way more. Like there are way more people doing it now than there ever were. Which unfortunately kind of waters the market down to some degree because you can only watch so many people, and there's more people doing it than ever.
Yeah, that's
what you're seeing it on YouTube too. It's not just in the games themselves. You're seeing like the community have a major shift, and I'm seeing a lot of new people rise up, and it's kind of like strength in numbers at this point. Like it's not like the 1 or 2 guys who have 1 million subs that are like that get all the views like it was 10 years ago. Now it's like you have, you could probably list 30, 40 maybe dudes deep that all have like relatively successful channels that like that have a pretty respectable thing going on. So
right.
Yeah, and a lot of that actually I think stems from TikTok. I feel like TikTok really it changed Mr. Beast won, and then also TikTok really changed the medium, like the form of content people are uploading now too, because it's got to be quick, it's got to have captions in the beginning, it's got to like really grab people's attention, because that TikTok brain, every viewer has got that now, and myself included. Like I watch YouTube Shorts too. Like you gotta grab people right away in a video, and there's a very specific way to do that, and obviously Mr. Beast was the one who kind of like perfected that formula. So there's a very like, if obviously you can upload whatever you want, but if you want to like really grow on YouTube with zombies at this point, there's a very specific formula at this point. Which it depends on how you look at it. Like I don't love it, but I'm sure the people that have mastered it really love it, because they're doing spectacular. Like they're killing it. So it just kind of depends on how you look at it. But yeah, major shift is on YouTube and in Call of Duty, like as a whole, I've noticed recently.
I agree personally. Nobody actually asked a question for you, Tim. I'm pretty sure this was a podcast that Turbo done. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he asked what happened to the Tidy Whitey's podcast.
So Rabbit, Turbo, and I did a little podcast. I think we did like 5-6 episodes, and this was like 2 years ago. So we started it, and there was some behind the scenes issues between the three of us with scheduling and like dedication to it. I'll just put it that way, because I don't want to air out all the dirty laundry. But basically, like the three of us couldn't consistently do it for different reasons. And for my reason was that like I said, this was at the end of 2022. So in my own personal life, like everything around me in my personal life was collapsing. And I don't mind, I won't like, I don't want to subject you guys obviously to to everything that was going on, because I'm sure A, you don't even want to really hear about it, but B, it's not like particularly interesting. All I'm saying is that like you know, at the time my dad had just passed away. I was going through a really nasty relationship, and that's like, you know, not only that, YouTube for me, I was burning out of. Like, you remember I was talking about like I didn't buy Vanguard, like I wasn't really interested in zombies or making content, so I just, you know, I completely lost any motivation to like do much of anything, and that's why I took that year break. But the build up to that was ugly, and the Tidy Whitey's podcast, man, in hindsight, I really wish I could have given more to that. It was a really cool idea, and those two guys are two of my best YouTube friends. Like those guys, ever since Last Man Standing, and ever since I met those guys, like fucking BFFs, man. Was a really cool concept, but yeah, that's what happened. Basically, like it wasn't for any particular like reason. It was just kind of like the Turbo was the one person out of the three of us that was like 100% dedicated to it. But Rabbit and I, myself especially, I didn't really have the kind of like the motivation or really the time, to be completely honest. So, just it kind of, that's how the cookie crumbled. I wish it didn't, but you know, shit in life happens. So it's just, it is what it is.
Shit does hit the fan, unfortunately. Sorry to hear that, man. That's really, really sad.
Well, man, I could talk about it forever, but what the, you know, the cliff notes of it is like, yeah, for the past from 2020 to 2023, that 3-year stretch, I lived like, I always tell people this, I lived like 30 years in 3 years. It sounds ridiculous, but dude, like I was forced to like grow up, because if I didn't, I would have crumbled for sure. Like every bad possible thing that generally happens in somebody's life kind of all happened to me at like 20, all at once in the same year. Same, like, honestly, couple months stretch, which was just, it was brutal. Like, if you talk to me even a full year ago, year and a half ago, man, I was in a bad place. But obviously there's been a lot of time, and I've actually like went to therapy, healed a lot, actually started taking care of like my physical health too, which is underrated, by the way, because mental and physical health obviously go hand in hand. So yeah, that was a really, really dark time in my life, but that was the only, you know, I always say this to people, like I would rather be thrown in the deep end early in life and learn how to swim than live 20 years, 30 years down the road and then be ill-equipped and then have the same shit happen to me and then drown. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather learn how to swim than to not, I guess. Yeah. Which is easy to say in hindsight. But in the moment it was pretty ugly, man. Not gonna lie. But I can laugh about it now because I feel far enough removed from it at this point, and I've genuinely healed. No, that's good. You know, a half a year ago, maybe even at like a year ago, I would tell myself that I was healing, that I healed, but I would just tell myself that, and I wasn't actually like taking active steps towards doing that. But I finally like legitimately did over the past year. So that. Well, yeah, good. Man. Really that. Good. Yeah, you know what the interesting, and I don't really talk. I haven't really talked extensively about these things. Because I can't with a lot of the details. I literally.
Oh, of course.
Can't for like legal reasons and stuff. Mm-hmm. But also, man, like I made like a video or two, like kind of like briefly talking about these kinds of things, like literally just to explain to people what was going on, because it's like, if you're gonna not upload for a year, like I viewed it as like the equivalent of like explaining to my boss, for a lack of a better word, like why I wouldn't be showing up to work. Like if you're gonna not upload for a year, you ought to just like give people at least a summation, a reason. So that's why I did that. So I've kind of briefly touched on these like personal things that I've gone through, but like I also realized after a while, like, you know, it's not something that everyone even wants to really hear. So I try not to I think what I'm going to do is on my second channel, not my gaming one, but like the IRL channel, Tim Talks. That's what I'll save that for. I'll make a long video, like a podcast style video, like going through like the timeline of everything in an appropriate fashion, like in a not too highly detailed way, so I can kind of just like go over the timeline, put it to rest. It'll be out there if anyone ever for whatever reason wants to see it, but then I don't have to like constantly like keep redigging it up again, because it's exhausting. It becomes exhausting for me and also for the people that have to hear it all the time. So so that's basically what has gone on in the past like 3 years. But I also have a lot of like great things going on as well. I'd be lying. Like that's a lot of the things that were good, kept me like motivated. Like the two boys that I have, my 2 and 3-year-old, like they're the ones that got me through that primarily. But then I also had a good support system with like family and friends and stuff, and like YouTube, like resparking the passion for YouTube helped too. Like taking a year off and then starting again and then kind of rekindling it. That was nice.
It is good to take a long break, especially when you get that motivation to come back.
Dude, if you think about it, like most zombies guys that have been doing this as long as I have at least, they like there isn't a single dude that didn't take a break. Pat took a break. Milo took a break. It was Milo infamously like went off into the mountains for like a year and like didn't make much content. Pat took a long break after his concussion, I think. And these all happens at different times too. Like most zombies dudes really get burnt out, and I think there's a reason for that.
Oh yeah, no, just
like the mode just can thin you out after a while.
Doing the same thing over and over again. Well, like there's a lot of stuff that you can do in the newer games now, yeah, but like there's not a lot in a sense. Like no one wants to see the 500th like starting room video like challenge again, or the Rainbow Prayer challenge. Stuff like that.
And it's like The Simpsons, where like every episode idea ever has already been taken. So it's like it's really hard to come up with an original idea anymore at this point with zombies, because it's just like everything's been done. Even the stuff that really worked for me, a lot of that stuff other people had already done. The only thing there's only a couple things that I can even genuinely say that I like, if not like invented per se, maybe just kind of like popularized. There was only like 2 things I could think of. It was Last Man Standing, and it was like the ranking videos. Now I did not invent the ranking videos. Actually, one of my buddies, Shane, at the time, in 2017, he actually uploaded it, and then I was like, damn, this is a really cool video idea. Like I asked for his blessing to like do it, and then the whole like ranking worst to best thing really took off in 2017 with a couple guys. But like so. Those are the only 2 things, though, that I can really say separated me. Everything else that I did was, like, already done. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really difficult to come up with an original idea, especially in 2024 for zombies. It's like, there's only so much you can do with the modes, so.
Yeah.
Brad says in the chat, not gonna lie, Tim's OG ranking every map video actually got me into YouTube. Your original YouTube name at the time, as far as I'm aware, what was it again? Like Bluefoot or something like that?
Bluefoot, which is like
what is the origin behind that name, Tim? I need to know.
So, I mean, it was my Club Penguin name. First and foremost. Because, like, I was a Club Penguin boy. I was a Webkins boy, Pop Tropica, all those games, like those computer games back in the day. Anyways, I loved Club Penguin. It doesn't even make sense because the penguins didn't have blue feet. They had yellow feet. But my penguin was blue, and I was like, Bluefoot. So then I made it my gamer tag on Xbox. And then I made it my YouTube channel. And it worked, man, because, like, whenever people hear that, they're like, what the fuck? Like, why would anyone name, like, it doesn't make any sense. So, like, I feel like that was actually, like, worked to my benefit. Like, people were like, Bluefoot? What the hell? And then I eventually changed it to my name around, like, 40 or 50K. Because I was just like, because I didn't really expect anything of the channel when I started. So I was just like, once it actually started becoming a reality, I was just like, I don't really want this to be my identity. Like, it was cool when I was just joking around, but I'd prefer people to not refer to me as Bluefoot for the next however many years I'm doing this. So.
Someone passes by you on the street. You're that one Bluefoot guy. You're the guy that done that ranking video on zombies a while ago. That would kill me.
Oh my god, yeah, that was one of the most underrated game modes in Call of Duty history. Survival in MW3, so goated. I did make a video. I whatever videos I deleted or unlisted happened for a particular reason. It could have been for a copyright reason. It could have been for Who knows? I would have to look through it. I also got age restricted plenty of times in my day. So
We love the age
that I generally take those videos down if they got age restricted.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's interesting you say that. By the way, Brad, what's up? Love you, dude. Brad's awesome.
Yes,
It's interesting you say that because the irony is, it was Pat and Lex's Pat was the first zombies YouTuber I ever watched, The Smith Plays.
Right.
So I was like 14 in my living room on the big TV watching his top fives. And you know, like, I don't know if you've ever seen his videos, but like the classic, like little, the little thumbs up with like the little Twitter bird.
Oh,
It's just like
yes.
The Smith Plays. Dude, the amount of hours I would just be sitting in my living room watching Pat's top fives. And like, and Lex was another big one that I started watching. So then like I don't know what occurred. Like, I don't know what possessed me one day to be like, I want to start recording this. But like, I just watched these top fives and I was like, you know what?
It just seems fun.
I think my exact idea was like, I never thought I could make higher quality videos than those guys. But the one thing I wanted to do better than them was like the list. It's like itself. Because I would disagree with the list sometimes, and it'd be like top 5 perks. It'd be like, you know, whatever, and I'd be like, I don't really agree with the order of that. I would like write down my own, and I'm just like, all right, well, I already got this far. Why don't I just like, and then I bought a Blue Snowball microphone, and then, you know, I bought an Elgato, like the really really basic one, and then I downloaded Windows Movie Maker. Shout out to Windows Movie Maker, dude, free editing software back in the day. Super primitive shit. Like the first like quarter of my channel is literally that. And then it just snowballed, and then by the time, you know, before I knew it, I was like 17. I started when I was 17 is when I started like really making videos actually. So it took a little while, but I don't know. Sometimes it just surprises me. Like I just blink and I'm like, wow. Like I look back and I'm like, holy shit. Like, how did I get here? What is this, dude? But yeah, it all started with watching those top fives. So
yeah, that's where it all started. I feel like, because I know that was really, I want to think, the first popular trend with zombies content, top 5 zombies, and it was from Lex and Pat themselves, because they were really, at that time, as far as I'm aware, the only two that really heavily hit the top 5 stuff, like top 5 best crews, top 5 worst maps, etc., at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were waves. It's like this, like what I'm talking about is like Brad brought up exactly what I was talking about. Like there was the top 5 wave, and then there was like after a while it was like the ranking everything worst to best wave. And I feel like there was a wave after that of like playing every map, doing X challenge. You know what I mean? Like it just like there's just like these waves at the beach where it's just like tide comes in, tide comes out, and then like there's this new idea, and it kind of disappears, and then a new one comes in. So that's kind of like where it all started, Brad. And thanks, man. You're an OG. Love you, dude.
We love B-Rad the man. T Butter Sky, thoughts on Minecraft? Tim, would you ever like consider doing Minecraft content? Because that's where I know I'm. That's where I'm at. I've been trying to speedrun my zombie series for fucking ages, and I just want it over so I can play Minecraft at this point.
Yeah. So like, Rabbit and I we streamed it a couple times, like a couple years, like in 2019, right before COVID happened. We did a little series. But the problem with Minecraft is, for me personally at least, it's very seasonal. Like I'll play it for 3 weeks. The first week is just like total infatuation. Like you can't get off your computer. Like it's just nonstop. Like just you literally you can't stop playing. Like
yeah.
It's. But then and then the second week is kind of like, all right, you finished building the majority of what you wanted to build. You got all your shit, and then by the third week, you're usually just kind of like, at least for me and my friends, it was always just kind of like,
what do we do?
Just over it. It's
yeah,
just
no,
like,
that's the phase that me and Rage, I know that's what we've always went through. Like, we'll get a server, we'll play it, either someone's griefed something, or someone's pissed someone off, or it's gone to the phase where it's like,
yeah, all
right, what do we do? What do we do? Is there anything else?
Yeah. And it goes on for like a couple weeks, and it's just like a long break, and it usually happens like twice a year, right? It's usually like twice a year for a couple weeks.
Yep.
You're like, all right, it's time for some Minecraft, and then like a half year goes by, and you're like, all right, I think enough time has gone by. Let's do it again. And it's just like this vicious cycle.
Is literally us as well. And like the thing that we wanted to do is really the mod stuff, and
Oh yeah.
Mods was really a hit or miss for. I know at least for us, Rage, it was.
It could be a little complicated.
Yeah, it can be. Because I know some people they didn't want mods, some people did. It almost broke my fucking PC. But you know,
It
is
break
what
one
is.
of mine.
It broke your PC.
The first server you guys had when you went to the moon and shit, my computer reached 100 CPU. I would just load up the mod and gone. It'd shut off. I was like, okay, great.
Damn, I actually almost exploded your PC. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you did, man. I have a question here. I don't know how you're gonna react to this. Do you know Mr. Caleb Ross?
Oh no.
Yeah, Caleb's the one.
He
Where's
told
his
me to
head?
ask you about the bathroom boys.
Oh my god. No way. No way. I wish Caleb were here right now. Caleb, you don't happen to be sitting in here silently right
I
now.
think he's at
Caleb,
camp. He told me to ask you. I had to at him and be like, dude, I need confirmation. You really want me to ask this question? He's like, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, what's up, Matt, by the way? Matt was a part of the Bathroom Boys. Shout out, Matt. Oh my god, this is like the dumbest story. I don't know how much detail I should go into. Like, does Caleb really want me to like disclose the whole story, or does he like... I don't know if he wants me to give like the censored version or the uncensored version. Like, are you texting him right now? You want to ask him real quick?
Hey, Rich,
yeah,
Rich,
I'll
get him on
ask him.
speed dial, bro. Come
I mean,
on.
I don't mind.
He's probably at camp.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, that's
well, I
right.
mean,
he's working. He's
I don't think. I think worse things have happened than what the Bathroom Boys story is. I think I could probably just share it. It's not even that crazy, but
Bathroom
it's like
Boys
it's
mentioned?
the most goated shit for no reason.
Matt
It's
knows
so-
the story, boys. What is the Bathroom Boys? I need to know now.
I want people to guess real quick in chat. Just go ahead and just like in a couple words.
Go for it. Spell the
Explain.
dates.
Tell me what you think it is, and then I want to, and then I'll share it off here. Okay, go for it. You have like 20 seconds, and then I'll
forgot
share
who's
the
on.
Bathroom Boy story.
Watch out.
Caleb loves telling that story, and I'm like, dude, it's pretty funny.
It is stuff of legends.
I'm
it is the most
scared.
legendary-
Oh, God.
Who said they're scared?
Why are you
It is the most random shit I've like ever been a part of.
It really is.
But okay, here we go. All right, so basically, like, we were in Vegas for ZWC 3, I think.
Oh yeah, that was Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was 2019?
2021, because that was when Cold War was out at the time.
Yeah. So that was
3 years
okay.
ago,
Yeah.
damn.
So first of all, I was flown out there by the organizers of the event, and I shared a room with Turbo and Rabbit. That's not a surprise. I think people know that part. But there was a different group of guys there that I hung out with a lot, besides those two.
Mhm.
And it was Caleb Ross.
Yeah.
It was
Really
Fat
cool.
Matt. It was Helios, my buddy Hagen, and his friend who I met that day, Whiplash, and then my buddy Shane, who was actually one of my OG YouTube friends. Mentality. He hasn't made content in forever, so I wouldn't be surprised if people don't really know. But those guys are like the lads.
Right.
So I think I met Caleb for the first time during this event, if I'm not mistaken. And Matt in person. and Whiplash. Anyways, so we were in Vegas. When in Vegas, you do kind of just degenerate shit.
Of course. Of course.
So we went out to the strip, grabbed some we'll call them resources.
Nice. Nice.
And then we went back to someone's hotel room, bro. I don't even remember who it was to this fucking day. I'm gonna be honest. I think it was Higgins, maybe. Matt, do you remember? God, I don't know. But we went to someone's hotel room, and it was like just a generally chill night. Like we were playing. I think they had a fucking PS4 hooked up. Just throwing back some beers, hanging out. Man, I feel like I hope I'm not doing this story a disservice, but basically someone brought in some
Resources.
resources, and we went into so we were trying to figure out how we were going to smoke this resource
Oh boy.
without having to leave the hotel room.
Oh
Because
boy.
none of us wanted to get up and go outside. Because like that hotel was crazy. Like getting from there to the door was like literally a 10-minute walk. Anyways,
What? Damn. Okay.
it's just several elevators. You had to walk through like 4 different casinos, all in this giant pyramid hotel
Jesus.
thing. It was so weird. Like it was literally the most It was the most terrifying hotel I've ever stayed in, like in a good way. But basically,
okay.
we didn't want to go outside, so we were thinking of like creative ways to like smoke in the hotel room, and we were thinking about doing it out the window at first, but there was a very strict no smoking policy there. So we're like, damn, we don't want to get kicked out of here. So, yeah, Brad knows. Brad was there at the hotel, dude. I felt like I was in fucking like the most advanced version of Egypt. It was a crazy hotel. Anyway, so we went into the bathroom and hotboxed it.
Fuck.
But the idea was like I don't even know where it came. I don't even know where the idea. Like I don't know what really like drove us to do that. Like it actually probably wouldn't be that difficult.
It was just a night in Vegas, mate.
But we were just like there were 6 fucking dudes just cramped in a little fucking bathroom, bro, and we were all just passing around a joint in the bathroom.
Oh, that's crazy.
And it was such a confined space, and so like, but we got really creative too, because like obviously we didn't want to smoke up the entire fucking room and set off the alarm and get kicked out. So we shoved a towel under the crack of the door, as any smoker knows.
Yeah.
And then we turned on the shower, and you got to turn it like as hot as you can, because the steam will it'll kind of. It'll mask the smoke a little bit. So we're just sitting in the bathroom with a hot shower, like so loud right next to our ears. Like that's all you can hear is just this loud ass shower. Someone's playing some music on their phone, and we got a towel shoved underneath the door. And there's just fucking 6 dudes literally huddled over, like fucking what I would imagine like a family of penguins would be like in the Arctic during the winter. They're all just huddled over, like trying to keep each other warm. It was like me, Caleb, Shane, Hagen, and Whiplash. Did I say Matt already? I don't know. There's like 5 or 6 of them.
Matt was yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like we're all just sitting there, just passing around a little joint. Man, those joints in Vegas. For the record, I don't smoke anymore. I haven't for like almost 2 years now. But basically, at the time, I was a mega stoner, and dude, I would buy pre-rolls there, which are basically just tiny little like little tiny joints, like really small ones, and they were $25 per fucking one of them. So it was $100 for a pack of 4 in Vegas, because they know they can get away with that, because they know that they're Vegas, and that where else are you going to get it? You're going to get it on the strip, and basically they upcharge the hell out of you. But granted, they let me in, and I wasn't even 21 at the time, and they let me buy underage, so I'll give them credit for that. But anyways, yeah, that's the bathroom, boys. I made that story a lot longer than it needed to be. I could have very easily just kind of just said that we smoked in a bathroom, but like the build up to that was just so weird, dude. Because I haven't met most of these people, mind you. Like, and I just kind of like went into this hotel room with these dudes, just having a couple beers, and it dawned over somebody. I think maybe, I don't know who brought it out, but it's just like, yeah, let's just hotbox the bathroom. It's just like, yeah, but there's a really strict no smoking pill. Whatever, we'll turn on the shower all the way. And it was one of the most blissful moments of my life. It was truly one of the most legendary, like random moments of my life. But we made a group chat after that called the Bathroom Boys on Twitter. So, and we've had that for years now. Like, so like a couple of times every year, randomly, someone will just text the Bathroom Boys group chat, and then I'll just like the memory will reemerge, and I'm like, oh yeah, damn, that was one of the most like legendary nights ever.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was.
That's fucking insane.
I could be mistaken, but I think Caleb said that was his first time smoking.
It might have been, dude. Caleb's young. Like Caleb at the time, I felt like a terrible influence, because I feel like most of the no, that's not true. I guess Caleb was definitely the youngest. Like he was easily the youngest.
Because I'm older than.
Okay, yeah. So the rest of us were my age, and Hagen's a little older than us. But Caleb was like several years younger than me, I think. I think his dad was there with him too.
Yeah, his dad was there. He was playing. He was playing poker with Noah.
I felt he was literally talking to me. He's talking about how like his dad was there with him, and he was at the event. It was the first time I ever met this guy. And then like literally 5 minutes later, blink of an eye, we're hotboxing a bathroom together.
That's crazy.
It was pretty legendary.
Matt,
Yeah, that's the Bathroom Boys. For anyone who cares.
Matt also mentions you can see in Sam, also known as Whiplash's vlog, he started filming right after that, and he looks faded. That's insane. Oh man.
Yeah, we were up all night, dude. Though, like that was just the beginning of the night. Like we were up for like easily 6 to 8 hours after that, just like sloshing back beers, and I think someone had an entire bottle of vodka. Maybe it was Matt. I don't know.
God damn.
Matt
And we were being drunk and silly and young and stupid, and we were just on Twitter like adding people and like tweeting out just the most ridiculous things. Like I'm pretty sure I added Johnny J and said something like, there are 206 bones in the human body. You want one more? And I was just so drunk, and I was just saying the most random shit. That wasn't even the funniest one, bro. Like, I think someone, I can't even remember. Matt, he put them on Twitter recently. He reposted them. So if you like, it's dumb. There's no reason to. But if you want to go see our drunken tweets from the Bathroom Boys night, Matt just reposted them fresh on X. So
nice.
Yeah, that was the most like 19-year-old moment ever for me. But that was awesome.
An awkward moment to say I don't follow Fat Matt. Fat Matt, don't hit me, please. Like we and Fat Matt recently just started playing with each other, and I don't follow him. I feel a little bad. Hold on, I gotta.
Actually, yeah, let me see.
That story's way too funny. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Matt also
Whiplash
said I
tweets.
definitely felt like a bad influence having Caleb there, but he's my boy. I mean,
Hey man, we didn't force him to do anything, okay? All right, we were just.
Caleb will literally do anything, man. If it's fun, he'll go fuck it, just go fucking do it.
Caleb, Matt, all those guys are just absolute lads.
Oh, that's
we
great.
have Whiplash who tweeted "I love men." We have me who tweeted there are 206 bones in the human body. You want one more at JohnnyJ25. Matt tweeted sometimes I tape my dick to my thighs. Add Pack-a-Puncher. He added Pack-a-Puncher. Hagen tweets babies don't deserve sunlight. Very reasonable. I swore that Shane.
Very reasonable. What?
I swore Shane tweeted something too, but I don't know where that went. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he took it down. There was one that got taken down because it was actually like.
It was bad, but.
But yeah,
follow Fat Matt. Okay, I feel okay.
Oh
man, I'm so glad that this was brought up. I wasn't expecting this today, but I'm really glad we
he
we went over the timeline of Bathroom Boys. Yeah, we revisited.
Yeah, legit. Once Caleb heard the announcement, I was like, "Oh, Caleb, guess who we're getting? Tim." He says, "You gotta do me a favor." I go, "What do you need?" He goes, "You gotta ask him." I said, "I don't know." And I had to get that clarification. I said, "You sure?"
Because I think he wanted to talk to a lot of us in our VC. I was streaming at the time, and then he was like, "Clarky, can you like mute the stream quickly?" I was like, "Fuck, what's wrong?" He's like, "No, I got to tell you guys about a legendary story called the Bathroom Boys." I was like, "Fuck, dude, all right."
I think what makes it more legendary though is the fact that like you don't really get to see guys like that live all over the country often. So it's just like it just happened to be this little blip in time where it's just like you see these dudes, you may never see them again. You don't know, you want to, but like at least years until the next time you hang out with these dudes. And something like that happens, just like that's so legendary. Like if I did that with my IRL friends, like here where I live, it would be cool, but it would be like, we can do that like anytime. So like, Bathroom Boys, dude, like that's legendary.
That sounds amazing. Matt says we need another ZWC or something, and that would be pretty cool. I really wanted to try and go because I kept saying to my mom, my ass is going to Vegas, and she was like, we have.
So ZWC 4 was supposed to happen a little while ago. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that. I didn't sign an NDA or anything like that. So, but basically it was supposed to happen, and it didn't. Because, to be honest, man, Matt talked about it too on a couple podcasts. MC Sports Talk. It's not a very profitable. It's not very profitable to him. In fact, he actually lost a lot of money doing the last one specifically. The first one, I think they profited. The second one, I don't know. It was at least close. And then the third one, he said he lost money, and it was not
he was
great
at a
financially.
podcast, with JC. He was like, the third one wasn't supposed to happen. Now, I think he at least lost over like $60,000.
So
like,
what? Unfortunately, ZWC will never happen again unless like a huge sponsor comes through or something like that.
Get Mr.
Like,
Beast on
be
this.
a huge change. Because as presently constituted, they can't do it again. Like and make money. So it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to
Apparently-
justify it.
I only knew about ZWC is because I was friends with Jason Hoisington, who he hosted that year. And I wasn't a huge zombies guy at the time. I coincidentally didn't do YouTube, got into YouTube because of your Last Man Standing. Like I came back and actually like full focused on
Oh.
it for a little bit.
Maybe.
So that was funny. And then he was hosting. I seen Rabbit, fell in love with Rabbit's content, and like it just spiraled down from there. And I was so upset. I said, Jason, next time there's another one, please give me it, because I was like 16 at the time. I was like, please do it. It was so sad I never got a chance to be there.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
would
I mean,
love to be there.
it was pretty cool. I was relatively young myself, and so like this is the first time I'd ever gone to an event, like any event ever, for like at least what I do, like YouTube. So
Yeah.
I went there, and like, don't get me wrong, it was so flattering meeting all these people, like young kids that would come up to me. Like I signed a bunch of Xboxes. Also, shout out Brad, dude. He was one of the first people to walk up to me and start talking to me, and I remember that moment actually to this day. Pretty sweet. Like obviously I didn't know him at the time, but like then I learned who he was after that. I'm like, oh shit, I saw you there. But anyways, it was really flattering being able to like talk to all these people and meet them and everything like that. But I knew it was also really uncomfortable for me because I was like still really young, and I was still I was really insecure too still, because I like hadn't really put myself out there much. Like a lot of my videos are just fucking just gameplay, so it's just like
just zombies videos, guys.
yeah, exactly. So it's just like, and like I appreciate the people's support, but it especially at that age, it was a little bit like unnerving.
It was a lot to take in at that time.
Yeah, because like I literally had like a little kid, and I mean little kid, who was probably like 6 or 7, and his dad. Like, and this was the moment I realized it, because you know, talking to a bunch of teenagers, that's one thing. But like when a little kid comes up to me and asks, like his dad asks for him, he's like, "Hey, my son's a really big fan of you. Can you sign his Xbox?" And like that moment to me, in the moment, I really, because I'm also a father. I was still even a father back then too. I was like, "Wow, that is unbelievable." Like
You made it, Tim.
the fact,
You made it.
because well, I mean, the fact that people would look at me that way, I get it, because that's the way I looked at the people above me. So like, it's the equivalent of like when I went to ZWC2 and I met all the guys. Like I met Pat, and I saw Lex and all these guys in the flesh for the first time ever. Like, it was so fucking intimidating. I was like 17 at the time when that happened too, and I was like, wow. Like I remember fanboying so hard when I met them and like got pictures with them and stuff like that. But I just remember in that moment how I felt as like still a viewer. Like I had a YouTube channel, but I was, you know, I wasn't shit. So I was a viewer, and I went up there and met them. But so and then when the roles reversed during ZWC3, I was like, wow,
that's insane.
Really,
'Cause that used to be me.
surreal.
Yeah.
So being on both sides of the fence, is an interesting perspective. And then, you know, it was awesome.
That's cool.
Sure.
Though. That's cool. You made it, Tim.
Yeah.
You made it. You made it, Tim.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that. It just making it sounds very pretentious to me because I don't feel like it's like being a YouTuber is very clearly like not like this revolutionary thing, especially now.
Yeah.
But at the time when you're a kid and and that happens, like that's when it's a lot, like, you know what I mean, like it's so different when you're like the age of all the people that are meeting you and freaking out about you, because it's like if you're a grown ass man, like if you're like 40 and you have like kids come up to you that are fans of you, it's just like, well, I mean, like you're clearly like you're a grown ass man, like, you know what I mean, like you're not like insecure, you're not like, you're very just confident, like. But then like when you're their age of the people that watch you, if not like even younger, that freaks you out a little bit, because it doesn't really feel, just feels very
Strange.
really weird. I don't know how to describe it, but anyways, no, I mean it was an awesome event. CWC3 as a whole was definitely like one of the best moments of my tenure on this platform. So
That's good, because I know Matt said like financially, like, because ZWC3, when he mentioned on the podcast, was never supposed to happen, but the one thing that he took away from ZWC3 specifically was that like it was a good event. Like, it was good for the community, especially during that time of COVID as well. Like, it was good.
It was so fun, like, for everybody involved, except for the organizers who kind of had a shit show for the third one specifically, because they, like I said, didn't really benefit much from it, to say the least. But everyone else that participated 100% had, like, it was pretty goated. Right. And then to have the bathroom boys happen on top of that was even more legendary. So that's cool. Massive dub.
Yeah, Brad also just said in chat, massive community W, just wish it had sponsors. Yeah, no, honestly.
So I think it was sponsored by Elgato, but I can't imagine it being this outstanding sponsorship because, like, clearly it wasn't like they didn't have a lot of money to work with. So I can't imagine it being this huge budget. But you know, the only way it would ever realistically happen again, unfortunately, is if a huge sponsor comes in and just basically just funds the entire thing, realistically, which is just a lot because you got to, you know, there's a lot to pay for, definitely.
Oh yeah, 100%, I agree. Now Tim, I know you were speaking of Lennon because I know we were talking about him earlier. You were recently on one of his episodes regarding hot takes and zombie stuff.
Oh yeah.
Tim, do you have any hot takes yourself of zombies? Like, anything in particular that people would throw pitchforks at you and shit?
I know I definitely have a lot of unpopular takes. Like, I wouldn't say they're, like, piping hot. So I have a lot of those. I would have to probably think about it for, like, a couple minutes if I really wanted to get, like, a really piping hot take. Like, I'm a pretty, like, moderate dude when it comes to everything. Like, I tend not to overreact one way or another, but I will say, like, a lot of my unpopular takes come with the older games.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people hate Shangri-La, for example. I'm just throwing a random example out there. Mm-hmm. I happen to think it's one of the best maps ever, which is definitely not a popular opinion. Like, most people definitely hate that map, like, especially when it came out. Shino Numa, I think is the most underrated map ever. Which is, when people hear that, they go like, what do you mean? But, you know, I just think, for several reasons. I think it's the most important, it's the most important map ever for integrating and, like, beginning the actual story. First of all, like, debuted the OG characters, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's the beginning of that. First wonder weapon ever, and I understand the ray gun was before that, but let's be completely honest, ray gun's kind of like mid. It was the WAF. I mean, that's the first, like, genuine wonder weapon. Mm-hmm. And then you had Hellhounds, the first boss zombie ever, right? And then, so a lot of people are like, well, the World of War version is broken. It's glitched, like, because of the 24 zombie cap, you could just fly through the rounds, get to an infinite number of rounds. Well, that actually makes it the most unique map ever, if you think about it. It's so broken, it's so egregiously, like, glitchy, that it actually gives incentive to play, because let's say you literally want to set the world record for literally the highest zombies, the highest round in zombies history ever. What's the map you're going to go to? It's not going to be anything in BO3 where everything crashes at 255, right? Yeah. It's going to be World of War Shino Numa. So you're 100%.
Round 10,000, bro. Keep in mind, that got to round 10,000 on that.
So, like, I think even though the World of War version is broken, I actually think it almost works to its benefit if you look at it through that lens. Now, a lot of people just don't like it because it's like it's a bland swamp. There's mud. It's kind of like it's just not particularly fun or like, or you know, atmospherically like good. So like I get that. Like from an aesthetic view, I understand why a lot of people don't like it. But I think just as far as significance, it's like the overall mode. That's an argument that I always make. That Shino Numa is just outside of my top 10. It's like so it's not in my top 10, but it's pretty close. So, and a lot of people, I guess that's a hot take. I would say so, because I would say most people do not have that sentiment.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people don't like Shino Numa whatsoever.
Right. In fact, I would actually argue that it's the least talked about map in that game, because you have Darius, which is like the best and probably the most remastered. Maybe it's not the most remastered, but yeah, like Darius is clearly very popular. Noct is the first, so it's obviously very popular. But Rukt and Shino are kind of like the middle ones that are like people don't really talk about them a ton. But at least Verrucht has that like scare factor,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like, and like the challenge factor that I think makes it like kind of infamous in a way, where it's like Shinonuma is just kind of like it feels like to a lot of people the sort of filler map that just kind of like is just fluff, like it doesn't really get people going, especially since it feels a little more forgettable. That's my point.
Right.
But I think that's part of what makes it the most underrated map ever.
Yeah. I get that.
And that's a hot take. But if I were to come up with more, I'd probably have to think about it for a little while for sure. But that would definitely be one of them, I would say.
I have one.
Like I feel like a lot. Yeah. What's that?
I was gonna say I have one way too many, but I think I'd get cancelled on Twitter for it, so that's why I always keep my mouth shut.
A lot of my takes that go in the other direction, where I think something is like overrated. I think a lot of that is pretty obvious. Like a lot of people know that I'm not the biggest BO4 guy, or Cold War, but like that's not really a hot take. In fact, I actually think a lot of people are kind of like there, so it's not really.
Oh yeah, that's understandable. Yeah. Rich.
What, you want a hot take from me, or?
Dude, I mean, you're the IW guy. I know you love your IW.
I do love my IW. On my top 3, it's a wacky list, like of just all time. Attack of the Radioactive Thing is number 1 in my heart. It's probably because it's the only map that I took so seriously enough to actually speedrun it and enjoy it completely.
So it's your favorite map ever, or your favorite IW map?
Favorite map ever.
Wow, that you might be the one person on planet Earth.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's weird, yeah, but I didn't play IW much on release. And I think it was last summer, we just had a huge IW wave. Everyone was playing it
because it was on
sale. I grinded it. Yeah, it was on sale. First time doing all the super Easter egg. I was in love with the game, and Attack was just the map that I enjoyed the most. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And I just spent the past like couple of weeks recording I got director's cut, and then I like played all the maps again because the series I was talking about earlier. So I made an IW episode, and basically like I would say that is not only far and away the best non-Treyarch game. I don't even think that's a debate. At least that's the way I see it. Not only that, but I think out of the 9 standard games leading up to, and I said this in the video, leading up to but not including Vanguard, so the 9 games, I would personally have it as high as 4, ranked 4 out of 9. The only games I would undeniably rather play would be BO1, 2, and 3. I think every other game
understandable.
has an argument. Like I think I would put World of War and IW in that second tier right below, like 4 and 5.
Right.
And then the tier below that I would put BO4 Cold War, and then the tier below that, the worst, XOs and World War II. So, but that's just Tim Hansen's opinion. Doesn't have to be everybody's opinion.
Of course.
But basically, I say that to say that I agree with you. I actually think IW is supremely underrated. I finally gave it a fair shake after years of I didn't buy it when it came out, didn't play it. Only played it a couple times in my life leading up to this past month. Played it a lot and love it. And I actually think Attack probably got more shit than it deserved too. I actually think it's not that bad of a map. I think the only map in that game that I genuinely didn't love playing was Beast. I just think Beast was pretty, especially the first 3 rounds. Like it's just very unflattering.
Everyone can agree with you on that. There's no man that likes Beast. I've never seen one person that likes Beast.
But like the first 4 maps, especially, and actually maybe this is a crazy take. My favorite map in that game is Shaolin. I love Shaolin. Yeah, I love little kung fu moves.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's so like
Clarky's bewildered right now.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like Shaolin is a bit repetitive. I'm not gonna lie.
Spaceland and Rave are great too.
I like Spaceland, Rave, and Attack. Like Shaolin, anytime. Like I can enjoy myself. Like if you ever wanted to play Shaolin, I'd be like, sure. I'd have no problems. But oh my Christ, like getting to round 5 for Kung Fu, it just sounds stupid in my opinion. Like getting to a certain round to start an egg sounds stupid. Like I don't know. That stuff to me, just I don't know. Shaolin's a bit repetitive for me, but I don't mind it. I wouldn't complain.
Yes.
But I don't have as much fun on it compared to say Attack or Raven, Zombies of Spaceland. Just I don't know. It's a map I can enjoy, but compared to the other 3, No.
Yeah,
And
100%.
I'm not including Beast on that one.
Ironically, I ended up failing the Easter egg more on that map than any other map. I actually had 6 different attempts to get it right, my buddy and I, because one time we crashed, and then all the other times we died in the boss fight.
Right.
And also, I just who the most like interactive. I just really enjoyed it just because it's like you level them up, kind of like the specialists, and like it felt the most like engaging to me. And it's like they're pretty cool, dude. You know, they reminded me a lot of the Ancient Evil like hands, the gauntlets. That's what it kind of reminded me of. I'm like, you know what, this is pretty sweet. Like the dragon one too, where it's like you send it off and it's like this giant twirling dragon man.
Oh, yeah.
That was so fucking cool for no reason.
Best
The one thing I don't like are the roller blitches, the little fucking.
Man.
Yeah, those things piss me off. When they all group up and you turn the corner, you're like, oh, just instant dead.
The Kung Fu zombies, they're too broken.
Dude,
I swear to God, they can
oh,
like two shots.
the ninjas. Those,
Yeah.
they're awful. Actually, I'm glad you said that, because never mind. The roller skates are fine compared to those guys. They fucking literally pop right in front of you, just 1-2 you.
The
Just
ones with the
instant dead.
skulls on their heads, I know they're more broken. They can literally one tap you, even if you have direct skull on. Because I know that happened to me when we done an IW hype stream not long ago for Zombies for Charity. It was pain. We're going to make sure to run director's cut and make sure that never happens again. But Ancient Evil, though, Tim, it's my favorite map of all time.
That is a totally fair take, man.
I am a huge fan of like the Greek, like Roman type stuff. Like I always have been. So like for it to be a zombies map with like cool wonder weapons and stuff, like I was like, this is sick as fuck. Like, and that was the peak of chaos. That was the peak of chaos. It just sucks because it was on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, no man, I'm totally there with you. I think it's the best map in that game. I think it's in my top 7. It's in my top 7. So like it easily top 10 for me. So like I totally get it. Like Ancient Evil, like the timing could not have been worse because Fortnite was at its peak.
Oh
right?
yeah, Playground,
After
stuff like that was coming out at the time.
Oh yeah.
Like people were not playing Black Ops 4 during the DLC cycle. I'm sorry. Like maybe people started liking it after more, but if you were there playing during the DLC season, nobody was talking about Ancient Evil, much less Dead of the Night, which actually set Ancient Evil up for failure because Dead of the Night was such a failure. And I don't mean it's a bad map. I actually don't believe that at all. I'm just saying for the build up, like they didn't release a trailer. Literally, I went on Twitter one day and I just found out it's just like Dead of the Night released. I'm like, what the fuck? Like there was no trailer. They could have literally just uploaded the intro cinematic on YouTube like 2 weeks in advance. Yeah. That they already had. It was pre-existing, and it would have been fine. But basically, yeah, Dead of the Night didn't get any marketing. Fortnite was crazy hot, and then Ancient Evil was kind of set up to I wouldn't say fail because I don't consider it a failure, but it definitely did not get the proper
love it needed.
Yeah. So, and I guess here's maybe another hot take. I actually think as time has gone on, I think the Chaos maps as a whole are significantly better than the Ether maps as a whole in BO4. And I know that must be an unpopular opinion.
Well, I thought you were talking about like Ether in general, like, but then
no.
Ether in BO4. I was like, what?
No.
I was bewildered.
In BO4. And I don't even think it's close. If you asked me a couple years ago, I would have shat on Chaos. Wouldn't have given it the time of day. Like, boring characters, don't care about the story, don't even approach me with that. That was my take forever. And then the more I started thinking about it, I'm like, I think it's mostly because when I made my rankings, I really thought about it. I'm like, this is probably where I'm going to get controversial because a lot of people like some of these Ether maps, but the only Ether map in my estimation that improved the original design, just specifically the design, was Classified, in my opinion.
Classified, arguably, if you were to say to anyone, I think that was the most, like, loved map for Ether.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even then, if it wasn't, you would hardly hear any complaints. Like, a lot of people didn't like the Pentagon Thief, personally, me, I thought it would have been cool to have him back as like a boss fight. But I definitely think it was an improvement. Like the Winter's Whale was definitely a big upgrade and improvement. You had new areas, new.
They fixed the teleporters too.
Yeah.
That was a genuine issue if you played 5 because you didn't know where you were gonna go, but they actually let you figure out where you were going to teleport to, which helps out quite a bit.
And even then, it's
Rip
like,
Pentagon Thief though. That was the big L that it took.
Yeah, it felt Classified, even though it was a remake of 5, somewhat felt unique. Like when I loaded onto the map for the first time, because that was my buddy's favorite map out of all the launch maps from that time. That it felt like a completely different map. Like it had like a different type of theme, style, stuff like that. Especially with the Ultimates crew. The one thing that sucks though is the 150 fucking Easter egg. Around 150. Fuck that.
Yeah, that blows. Yeah, I never even did it. Even when I did all the Easter eggs recently, I was literally just skipped over it. It's like, I don't really have the time.
I went for it on PlayStation. I got it, but then I was like, I moved to PC. And it's still broken on PC. Like, you physically cannot do it on PC. Well, you can, but...
What a rewarding feeling, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it's awful. It's bad.
It's awful.
Man, so I think a lot of people hate Voyage, and I was one of those people, but it grew on me. And I will say this, I respect it more than any of the Ether maps. I respect any map that is original, takes a swing, and tries to be its own entity more than the map that had the answers to the test and still failed the test. You know what I mean? Like, I respect it more. Does it make it better? Maybe not necessarily. But Voyage, I know a lot of people hate. I give it actually mad respect because it didn't have a lot of creative freedom to work with because they had to make a 101 of a fucking boat, and it's a little bit hard to have wiggle room in terms of design there. So I totally respect Voyage for what it had. And then I also think Dead of the Night is another map that a lot of people hate, and I used to be there. But Dead of the Night has grown on me. I think it's an experience you really can't find anywhere else. Like, Nosferatu's pissed me off, but other than that, and there's too many things to grab, let's be honest. But other than those two things, Dead of the Night, super respectable, super good map.
Mm-hmm.
And then 9 and Ancient Evil, I think, were always good. Like, I think everyone agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, which is funny because on launch, 9 out of all the 3 maps before we figured out there was 4, 9 was the one I was least interested in because I thought it was just going to be an arena. Like, I know me and my buddies were thinking, is it just an arena? Like, are we not going anywhere else in that map?
It is funny. Do you remember the launch of that game? Like when the trailers came out, I feel like that was easily the least talked about map. I remember saying
Voyage,
that at the time
you had
too.
the Titanic, and then of course Blood of the Dead. It's Mob of the Dead for fuck's sake. Like, it's going to be popular. Like, 9 was easily the least talked about.
Classified map that everyone knew was 5 remastered. So it was like you had the 2 remasters, and then Voyage got way more press anyways. Mm-hmm. And then when people were doing the Easter eggs when the game first came out, it was like everyone was trying to figure out Classified because that was an enigma to everybody. No one knew how to do that for like literally a month. That was like the longest it took for people to solve an Easter egg, I swear. Mm-hmm. And then you had everyone was obviously playing Blood and then Voyage. But 9 was like the afterthought map, and I remember that was the first map I streamed specifically because no one else was, and I was like, this is the only way I'm gonna get people to watch me is because no one else is playing this map right now.
Right.
So anyways, I think the Ether maps though, Classified is good, made improvements.
Agreed.
And maybe I don't know how you guys feel about the other 3, but I'll tell you that, and maybe you guys don't want to hear this. I won't, you know.
Speak your truth, Tim. Speak your truth. It's the Shitezcast. Okay. You can talk a lot of crap. Go on. You have the freedom.
Okay, I'm one of the biggest Call of the Dead fans you'll find.
TOG, I know that.
TOG is not like in a vacuum. TOG is an acceptable experience. Like I really think it's fine. It's not like earth shattering in any direction.
Right.
But I think TOG is just not bad. It just is not an improvement from Call of the Dead's original design. I just don't think that argument can be made. Is the gameplay better? Maybe because it's 10 years. It's literally 10 years later, so obviously it's gonna have some improvements. But like TOG, underwhelming. Yeah. Now let's talk about Blood of the Dead.
Brad's hold your horses.
Yeah, Brad loves this map to death.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is where
speak your shift time. Just go. You just do it.
Full send it.
I also just so happen to be one of the biggest Mob of the Dead fans ever.
Yes.
Blood of the Dead story actually is great. I think it's on par with the original Mob story. Like, it's that good. But when we talk about the gameplay, specifically the map layout pisses me off so much. I detest what they did to Mob of the Dead.
Right.
Because Mob it flowed better than any map ever. That was like its big thing. It was just like this seamless, like a woven basket of a map. Like, you just walk into this room, grab this part, and it all just meshes together beautifully. Blood is just like, it just took an axe and just smashed it. It was just like, no, fuck this. And it's like a totally blended up, messed up version of what the original layout was. They got rid of the most endearing part, the bridge, right? And then like the first half of the map, as far as I'm concerned, is mostly useless because you don't really ever have a reason to return to like Richthofen's lab or any of that entire first portion of the map. So like, there's already not like a lot more wasted space. And I'll also say this: if you have to have fast travels, like to even make it work, you know what I mean? It feels like it's scotch taped together, right? It feels like it's just kind of like, all right, you got to take this fast travel to even like get to this part of the map. So it doesn't really, you know what I mean? It doesn't really, it just, not my cup of tea. Okay, Blood of the Dead, but that's not even my least favorite. Alpha Omega. What are you guys' thoughts on Alpha Omega?
Rich, me and
I like it personally.
Rich, he's gonna kill us.
Okay, all right. I don't want to. I don't want to be a dick. That's why I asked, because I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read the room
honestly,
here.
we will not shit on you. Like, we do not care. Like, it's your opinion, bro. It's totally fine.
I spent 24 hours on Dead of the Night, so you're fine.
Yeah,
Nuketown. What's that?
I was just gonna say, like, Alpha Omega. I know me and Rage like it. I enjoyed it just simply because, fuck man, Nuketown Zombies, original at least, was just... The only thing I liked about Nuketown Zombies was just, it was a good map to get better at training for high rounds.
Yeah. The OG Nuketown was made exactly for that. I think it has, like, OG Nuketown has a real purpose to play, like a real incentive.
Alpha Omega, I just thought it was fun. I thought it was just a chilled out experience. Like, I didn't feel super tedious like it was in Blood, with like the challenges of like the Easter eggs that you had to do. Like, it just felt chilled out. It felt quite peaceful. Ray just fucking left. Bye. It just feels quite peaceful when I play it. And like the Rhaegar Mark II variants too, I thought they were quite cool. Joe also says Alpha Omega over in OG Nuketown.
What's up, Joe?
Like, I also get the hate for it though. I understand it. But I felt like just at that time, especially with BO4 as well, just BO4 Zombies at that time, it had the most marketing at the time. It was Ether, so there was a lot more hype for BO4 Zombies at the time with Ether returning. So I think that's got to do more with it as well. But I don't know. For me, that was probably, for the DLC cycle at least, was probably the peak of BO4 Zombies.
I think that I did the Easter egg recently, actually, and I thought it was like, it was one of the easier, like, more chill Easter eggs in that game for sure. Yeah. Like I like, that was fine. I'll save the whole like dramatic like shitting on it for 10 minutes ramble, but what I will say is, like, my issues with it are pretty simple. It's just the ventilation systems, the generators, the fact that it's like Origins, where it's like, once one generator shuts off, then another one does, and then literally a round goes by and you go to pack punch and you can't, because then you got to go fucking recharge them up. And then, not to mention, when you turn the valves, they shove like 10 super sprinters up your ass, so you got to like turn it, shoot a zombie, turn it, shoot a zombie, and it takes like 12 times to do that, and then you have to do it like 4 times total just to return on pack a punch, which you already did. And then the other thing is the bombers, like Brad said, the Nova 6 bombers, the ones that like turn the other zombies into like 7-Eleven crackheads, you know, the little fast ones that sprint around. I don't mind the electric ones. The jolting jacks are fine, but the ones that make all of the other ones faster.
Oh yeah, they're pains in the ass.
That shit sucks, dude. It just sucks.
It reminds me of the water callus zombie. It doesn't make the zombies faster, but it makes them stronger. Like, they feel like bullet sponges.
And then I don't have a great opinion of regular Nuketown either. But I think and you know what? Like, I think you're right. It's like, it can be fun and just kind of like, just chill. But you know, if we're going to get into like the, like if we were to like rank maps, like, and we're comparing it to other maps, like the what I would hold against Alpha Omega is the fact that it's just like not very original. That's it. It's not like this, you know, now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't really have like I don't really hate it, but it's just like, I guess my overarching point with all of the Ether maps as a whole, between all of them, is just that like Chaos I thought aged a lot better.
I'll agree with that.
I think it aged better. Maybe if you thought Ether was way better, maybe now it's at least like closer to even for people, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's totally valid to enjoy those Ether maps. You know, I'm not the gatekeeper of fucking what you can like or not, but that's just my personal take. I think it's a hot take. We were talking about hot takes. That would be one of them.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if my camera show.
Yeah, your camera did die, by the way. Your camera did die. There you go. That is back.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. Most of my chat actually agrees with that as well. That Chaos did age well more than Ether, which is a surprise. I think as well, especially where we are with current Zombies games, especially with specifically the Dark Ether, because I know that's really a hit or miss for a lot of people at the moment. Like, I know with Cold War, some people enjoyed it. Vanguard, you know, fuck that. Modern Warfare Zombies. I don't mind Modern Warfare Zombies. I thought it was quite cool with what they were going with. As of recently, it's just like, what? I don't know. But BO6, I want to say, could be a good redeeming factor. Like, we're learning more about Richtofen, because we saw him at the end of the cutscene of Cold War. You know, we're actually getting the option to play as a set crew now and stuff, so that's quite cool. So I want to say the Dark Ether story for Black Ops 6 personally, even though it's a prequel to Modern Warfare 3, it's going in the right direction. And me and Jason Hoisington actually were speaking about this yesterday. Like, I think the one thing that would be cool is Richtofen, like, we really see him as the antagonist again within this game, and then if the Dark Ether story continues, he's now the main villain. He's the forefront, and we need to try and stop him. Like, it's like Black Ops 1 all over again. Like, he's the antagonist, trying to blow up the Earth, all that shit. So
yeah,
that would be the one redeeming factor with currently with the Dark Ether story, in my opinion. But that's just me, though. That's just me.
Yeah, I think that's totally valid. Unfortunately, you're talking to the wrong guy about the Dark Ether story. Just
I know you don't know a lot, especially with Modern Warfare and Vanguard.
Yeah.
Vanguard, Tim, you haven't missed much. The only interesting part about, I think, Vanguard was probably the demon side of things. Like that.
Oh, you're talking about for the story. Yeah.
Yeah, those were really the only like interesting parts about the story. Aside from that, nothing else really mattered in Vanguard. Like the majority of Vanguard chat. I apologize for Vanguard lovers if you exist out there. But yeah, striving away from zombie side of things, because me personally, Tim, I need an American. I need an American to tell me this. Rage, you've told me this, and most of my chat, most of my friends are all American too. But Tim, me personally, I'm trying to move to the States. I want to get the fuck out of here. There's nothing to do here. There really isn't. But me and the boys are actually going to see each other next month for a trip. Tim, in
the States?
Yeah, I'm flying to the States. Give me.
But you want to get out of there permanently?
Yeah, but we need good places for food, Tim. I need to know what are good places to eat. Like, what is fast food? Tell me everything. I need to know.
That depends entirely on what state you're going to, because
I'll take any at this point.
The thing with America is, it is impossible to give a universal description of like how it is, because it's so vastly different, like depending on where you are. Like it's so big and diverse that it's just like you have the South, you have the Southwest, you have the Northwest, you have the Midwest, and then you have the East Coast, and like and then the Northeast. I live in the Northeast, so I live in like the colder northern part, kind of tucked away up in the corner. So my experience would be vastly different than like someone who lives down south. So I mean, do you know what state you're going to yet? You go to
Fuck
California
no.
or
Yeah,
something?
Joe just like, what kind of question is that? Listen, man, I don't know the United States. I'm from the fucking UK.
There are some things that are like you can see or find anywhere. Like a lot of fast food joints specifically are like everywhere. So I mean, like, you know, do you have Chick-fil-A there?
No.
You gotta try that.
Yeah, we're
You
not
gotta try
cool, dude.
Chick-fil-A.
We're not cool. I'm
I'm assuming
telling
you guys have McDonald's. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah, we
assume
have-
that you guys have. You have Wendy's.
No, we do not have Wendy's.
Oh.
I'm so sorry to.
Popeyes. You gotta try Popeyes.
We have
I'm
Popeyes. We
only
have
talking about
Popeyes.
fast food. Because obviously, if I don't know where you like which state you're going to, I can't really give you like restaurant ideas or like
We're
specific.
going to
like...
New Jersey next month. In terms
Oh,
of the
okay.
trip, we're going to New Jersey.
Oh, okay. So that's East Coast. That's a little bit further down south from where I am, a couple hours. Like, you know, I could sit here and list a bunch of fast food places all day, but number one fast food place I'd recommend the two of them would be Chick-fil-A, and then if you're looking for a burger, try Five Guys. See if there's a Five Guys in your area. You're gonna want some of that.
All right. I'll remember this.
Now, as far as stuff to do, that's where it's a little tougher for me because I don't know the New Jersey area super well. But I'll be honest, man, you guys are kind of close to DC. New Jersey's pretty close to DC. It's like definitely not more than a couple hours of a drive. I mean, but if you're hanging out with your friends, you're not gonna want to go fucking walk around and look at a bunch of statues.
There's 13 of us, something along.
Oh, yeah,
We're bringing
right.
Caleb, so
Oh
maybe
my
we can
God,
make
there's
a
a
party.
lot.
Bathroom,
Fucking- there's a lot.
There's
there'll be
a
another
lot.
bathroom boys type shit going on probably.
Holy
shit! Now.
Y'all got a whole posse. All right.
We tried to get Brad, but he's like, I'm too old. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, man. I don't know.
Trust me,
With
Tim.
New
They don't
Jersey
care about history.
specifically.
We do, Joe. It's just...
Gambling.
Like in my area, there just really isn't. I live in like specific. I live in Massachusetts. I grew up in the burbs where there was like a couple things to do, like a small town, like average shit to do. Like we had a bowling alley, we had like a couple restaurants, nothing crazy,
Right.
and a lake. But I live now in the woods. I live kind of in the middle of nowhere at this point.
Okay.
Because I bought a house almost 2 years ago. So I live on a mountain, kind of off in the woods. I have neighbors, but they're not close.
Right.
So my experience now is very different. The only thing there is to do for me within a 10-mile radius is a brewery. So, and then like, you know, if you go a little bit further out, they've got like a little strip mall. They've got some stuff. But man, like the only states that really have a ton to do, like everywhere you look, California, Texas, New York, Florida. Those are like the most popular states, undeniably,
Right.
for visiting. And then it gets tough after that, man. Not gonna lie. Then it just depends. Like those are the 4 states that you could go to and get like a objectively good experience, no matter what, as a visitor. If you go to any other state outside of those 4, it is a very particular experience, and it depends entirely on where you're going. So if you're going to New Jersey, I don't know the area very well. Does someone in your group that's going live there? Obviously, I'm assuming, or
Expert
We
Fusion.
have someone that
was,
lives in New York.
Expert,
Yeah, we have people.
Yeah.
they would definitely be the person to ask. I would be the wrong person, but as far as like universal American experience, definitely try some fast food joints, obviously, that you don't have back at home. And I don't know, maybe go to a gun range or something like that.
We were talking about that yesterday with JC. He's like, guys, come to LA. First time I'm taking you to a
Yep.
firing range. We're like, sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe go to the beach. I mean, I don't know how the beaches are in Scotland, but maybe that would be a fun little experience.
I mean, they're nice. Like, my country here, whenever it's sunny, which in that tales, it really isn't hardly ever sunny at all. Whenever it is sunny, it's really nice. Like, there's so much traffic everywhere. And it's probably the same over there, but, like, for me personally, it gets really busy really quick because of the fact that most of the time it rains here. Like, it's not really heavy rain, it's just raining the majority of the time. So that's why, like, if you're going somewhere, you're either visiting family, going to a friend's house, or, like most Scottish people, going to a nearby pub or something. But
Yes, yeah. So I mean, that's pretty similar to my area. But in Jersey, yeah, there is a Six Flags in Jersey. It's an amusement park. That would actually be a fantastic idea for something to do.
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely like I would say top 3 for sure.
Mm.
And Joe, the Blackwater, the Eastern, man, you should go to Cape Cod, like. Or have you ever been like in that area, Joe? Like in the Cape Cod and Nantucket, like in the Hamptons, also. Like if you go into New Hampshire, like also Maine has some beautiful beaches too. Actually, even though they're northern, there are some beautiful beaches in New England actually. But New Jersey isn't technically in New England, so. Yeah, so I wish I had more input for you.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
But that's definitely exciting, man. Well, you're gonna come here and you're gonna get like a real taste of freedom.
Honestly, my
just kidding.
reasons, like, my holidays from work is, like, quite spread out. I've not really had a chance to, like, chill out. So, like, once Z4C was done, as much as I loved setting it all up, I was like, right, that's something off my plate. I really just need to focus on my real life job for a whole month. And then I'm off for 2 weeks. I'll be off for a whole week, just chilling out, getting stuff ready. And I'll be seeing Rage and all the other guys there, which will be cool, because the last time I saw them was 2 years ago, so it'll be definitely a way to chill. And then the whole thing with me wanting to move permanently is just, like I said, like this place is, Scotland's nice. My only problem is there's just not much to do here, and
Yeah.
I feel like there's more opportunity for me elsewhere. And I actually tried applied for some jobs, and I actually did get an interview, and they actually messaged me personally and they said, so when would you be looking to relocate? And I was like, well, probably the earliest I could do is October. And they were like, right, we're looking for someone ASAP. And I was like, well, because I know the whole visa process with me trying to get into the States, if I got selected for a job, they would do it for me. But then when I asked questions about the visa, they got back to me and they went, oh, we didn't actually realise how long the visa process would take. I think it takes a month or two.
Dude, a passport process takes
probably
a long
even
time.
more, because I know Lex, he tweeted this out, I think it was last year. He actually got his visa 2 years later, and I was like, that's fucking crazy. Like, he's still in Canada, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
me personally,
that's exciting, man. Especially at your age, not a lot of people really have the balls to kind of go through with that big of a change.
I like to travel. Like, that's something I realized, because me visiting the others 2 years ago was my first time ever traveling, like, on my own. Like, I wasn't there on my own, but actually, like, going to a different country, like, getting there was completely on my own. So I had to figure out a lot of stuff on my own, and it was alright until I got stuck at Philadelphia for a whole 33 hours with no food or water.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, they cancelled the flight due to bad weather, and I was like, I don't know where the fuck to go. And I was going to have our good friend Burley Trevor.
Don't walk outside. Don't go into... Dude, the city there right now is not looking good. I'll just put it that way. I love all my Philadelphia folks, but yeah, man, they have a real... I don't know. I think it's called Trank. Like, there's a really famous, like, zombie drug going around where people inject themselves, and it's like...
What?
I don't know, some, like, similar to heroin, where people basically, like... They're
Jesus.
just fucking... They just shut off their brain, and they're fucking just limp, and it's rampant throughout the streets there right now. I mean, that's not the only place. Like, there's a lot of places, a lot of cities, like Portland, Oregon's another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Philly's going through a crisis right now, a drug crisis, a lot of crime going on right now. But yeah, Brad, when you were talking about Wisconsin, yes. So my dad was born and raised in Minnesota, and so like his family lives there, and so I go there annually. And so I was like partially kind of raised in the Midwest to some degree. So I've been there a million times. And yeah, in the Midwest, there really isn't anything to do other than drink. And there's a lot of beautiful nature though. Like, but there are definitely a lot of spots in the U.S. where there really also isn't shit to do, especially in the Midwest. But yeah, also, I think you'll have a good time in New Jersey.
Oh,
I
no,
definitely think it's like there's shit to do there for sure.
Oh yeah, there definitely is. I'm just more excited to see the lads. I'm excited, like, it's like I didn't.
Yeah, you guys will like when there's that many of you and you all get together, like
Yeah.
you'll like almost provide your own entertainment in and of itself. Just
Oh yeah,
for that.
definitely. I only met 3 of them last year. Like the original owner of Z4C, Braden, also known as, for people who don't know him, Zazu. I met him 2 years ago. Then it was Caleb, and then I met one of the other people that worked on Songs for Charity, which was Soups. So I met those 3, but this time it's like I mean a whole lot of people. Like I've known Rage. I've known you for like 3 years now, bro.
It's been a hot day,
Yeah, and I'll be meeting Rage for the first time, Birdie, like, and hopefully I'm praying to God this time it will be a better flight experience, because when I did arrive in Philadelphia, they just went, yeah, no, we're not gonna provide a hotel for you. I'm sorry, and I was like, bitches, you cancelled my flight. Like, come on.
I think they owe that to you. That happened to me once.
Oh
in
yeah, no,
Boston.
Tim,
I
it was bad.
taking a flight.
33 hours,
Yeah.
no food, no drink. I was scared to shit because it was my first time flying on my own, and I was like, I'm fucked. Like I could not sleep, and by the time we went on like a smaller plane, and I landed, and I was just like, Caleb, get me the fuck in your car, man. I need to fall asleep, and I started flying a good like 3 hours, like. But then after that, the year after, I went to Rome completely on my own, so like no one was going with me, for 2 weeks just on my own, and that was arguably one of my best holidays like ever. Like it was just chill. There's not much to do there, but it was just a nice place to chill out, and I was like, damn, I recently learned that I like travelling, and then 6 months later, my friend wanted to go on a trip to Switzerland, so I was like, right, let's go to Switzerland. And then that's when I realised I actually have a knack for like wanting to go travelling and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
permanently
Traveling is the whole point of life, man.
Oh yeah, it
the way I
definitely
see it.
is. Like there's so much to explore there, but like permanently moving to the States is more personal reasons I'm not going to say on stream, but it's more just the fact that, you know, I've got a lot of friends there from like different states. There's more stuff for me to do out there, I feel like. And like as much as I love my current time job, I just feel like there's more for me to do out there. So
Change of scenery never hurts either, especially when you're younger. Because
Oh,
when you
yeah.
get older, you'll settle down and you'll find your spot. But generally, when you're young, it's nice to get around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I traveling to me is like the whole point of life, especially if you're able to.
Mhm.
Went to Japan last summer, going to Australia in a couple months,
Nice.
and then I travel a lot throughout the states. But I'm trying to get more out of the states because I've been to virtually every state in the states at this point, whether
Right.
it be airport or just driving through or visiting genuinely. But so I'm trying to get out of the states more and like see other countries, and you know I think Europe will be next actually, probably in a year or two. But actually, going to Kyoto next year in Japan. Went to
Nice.
Tokyo this past year, and yeah, you realize when you go there, you gain this real appreciation and gratitude for not only your own country, like what you don't have there, but also like, you know, what you do have back. You get an appreciation for what you do have back, what you have back at home that you miss in the new country you're in, but also you gain an appreciation for what the new country that you're visiting has that you don't have. Like, you know what I mean? It kind of goes
Yeah.
both ways. Because yeah, going to a country especially that does not speak English, that fucking was really scary, dude. In the States, you'll come here and you'll it'll be a pretty comfortable transition, I think, for you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think I definitely think. I mean, Japan is fucking crazy, dog. Like,
How crazy are we talking? I've never been. My friend wants to go, but I've never been.
it is different in every way, in every single way, dude. Like, even the toilets are just, they all have bidets. Like,
Oh,
literally, it's like, the food is different, the culture is different, the people is different. There's unwritten rules there that you need to research in advance. Obviously,
Oh
it's
yeah, they're
completely
heavy
different
restricted
language.
on laws.
Yeah, well, and there's also just like cultural norms that, like, if like there are very unspoken rules, like don't be loud in public. Very big one that a lot of Americans fuck up, because a lot of Americans are loud and obnoxious.
Rage, that's
Um,
impossible for me, bro. I'd get kicked out of the country in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, nothing allowed. There are no substances allowed there other than tobacco and alcohol. And if you get caught with anything else, you are fucked. You will go to jail for probably a very long time.
What? That's.
I mean, I made a video about this. I almost got fucking detained. I almost got arrested on accident in the first hour I was there because
What?
I accidentally went. I went into the wrong Airbnb on accident. Well, I went into they had an apartment on the Airbnb, and I'll save the whole. I made literally an hour video fucking talking about this, but basically the gist of it is, there were two companies. Like there was a hotel chain. It was the same name, same company. It's like, it's like the equivalent of having like two Holiday Inns on the same fucking street, basically. They were literally a 5-minute walk from each other. They had the same company name and everything. We went into the wrong one. They gave us a combination for the lock, for the keypad that was on the lock. We went in there, put the combination in, it opened, and then we settled into to our room. And it ended up being the wrong room. We found out an hour later when there was an angry, sweaty Chinese lady who walked up to the door, started banging on it, screaming. I was literally in the middle of a nap. I've been in this country for a fucking hour. I don't know. I'm already fucking nervous. And then this lady wakes me up from my nap. I walk over there and she's just incessantly screaming at me. And she doesn't speak any English at all, like zero. And so we're shouting. She's shouting at me in Chinese, in Mandarin. And I don't know, like, I literally don't know what the fuck's going on. So then I'm frantically, like, texting and calling the Airbnb host, like, what the fuck's going on? Basically, they explained to me that I was in the wrong building. I had the right room number and the right key combination, which coincidentally, by a miracle, ended up opening up the same exact room in the corresponding hotel. So basically, I accidentally broke into a fucking hotel room that I wasn't supposed to be in. I already unpacked all my stuff. And then the lady called the police on me. So the Japanese police pull up. I even have a photo of this dude, I think on Instagram, and it's the thumbnail of the video. There's literally like a fucking photo of me talking with the Japanese police via Google Translate. I'm literally we're typing back and forth and handing my fucking phone back and forth to communicate together, which is just, I like literally, it was the most unbelievable thing ever. And they don't, like, the Japanese police, they don't really love, we were both foreigners, the Chinese lady and I, so they just wanted to settle the situation. Like, they were just like, these are two annoying foreigners, I just want to end this. So they're just like, we came up with a resolution. Basically, I had to pay these people, like, a couple $100 for the equivalent of one night's stay. Plus, like, because, you know, we put our shit in there, and apparently that was, like, we like ruined their experience, so they wanted compensation or something like that. So then gave them a couple $100, unpacked our stuff, walked our sorry asses over to the other building on the same exact street, thanks to Google Maps, by the way. And yeah, that was literally the first hour after I went into a different country the first time in my life, and that was terrifying. The rest of the trip was awesome, but yeah, that was my introduction to leaving the United States. Not to mention the flight itself was like 14 hours, so I was just ready to collapse. So yeah, that was anyways.
Really?
Japan's great though.
Oh, what?
Do you have anything else you would like to say?
I don't think dude, I'm not gonna lie. I had sandwiches, and I haven't wanted to be eating on camera. I haven't eaten them for 2 hours. They are cold as shit.
What?
The food I made, it's just been sitting on my desk.
Little behind the scenes here. Little lore.
Yeah, I don't think I have much. I think
You're
literally
human.
everything has been talked about.
We're human. You can eat, bro. Like
my Discord just crashed as I was pulling up the notes. Thanks.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's well. Honestly, I don't want to go to Japan anymore after that time. I'd be too.
I literally like it.
I'd
the
be
odds
too
of that
scared.
happening to me were literally like less than 1%.
That's
That's just my luck.
crazy.
That's my fucking luck. I literally almost got arrested until they let me go because I had to. If I didn't even have the money on me to pay her off, I might have gotten in serious trouble. Like they asked for like several $100s, and I just so happened to have the cash on me in advance. But if I
Right.
didn't, I might have been fucked. At least for a couple
yeah.
hours. I just would have been sitting in a fucking Japanese police car or something like that. Yeah, that was awesome. But there's a lot of other great things.
Was
about
it just
Japan.
you, or was there a group?
Me, Rabbit, and then 2 of his Discord mods. So it was pretty legit. We're gonna go to Kyoto next year. Tokyo is definitely where you want to go first if you go, because they're the most English friendly. They like it's the most English speaking compatible there. And then if you go further up into the country, that's where you really ought to learn some Japanese if you go up into the country. But
Right.
also Google Translate, pretty clutch, because you literally just put your phone up, you put your camera up, and it literally just translates all the symbols and stuff and all the words into English just by pointing it up there. So yeah.
Interesting. No, I'd still be worried as shit because my friend's like, we need to go to Tokyo, and I'm like, man, that shit's way too expensive, but I will fucking try. But then after you saying that, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit fucking scared now. Tim, I'm naturally loud, bro. My mom messaged me like every night saying, "You better shut the fuck up." Like my mom is on my ass 24/7, even if I'm like the quietest man alive. Just.
Well, it's fine in specific contexts. Like if you're out in public, like you got at a bar or something like that, then that's totally cool. They don't have a problem with that. But like especially if you're on the train or the subway or whatever, yeah, you definitely, like, if you're there, everyone is silent. There is not a person talking. Everyone is like packed in very tight together, not speaking a word, just on their phones, and like they don't even look up. They will not look at you. They might for a second, especially white people. They're kind of like intrigued, but they'll kind of look back at their phones and they won't talk to you. And if you're loud, if you make any noise like beyond what anyone else is, you are automatically on their no list. They don't fuck with that. It's really weird stuff. Like you have to basically, you just have to be as polite as you possibly can. And in return, they're actually some of the kindest people in the world. They're very helpful. Awesome people, amazing culture, but that's if you give and take with anywhere you go in the world. Any country you visit, you give them their respect. You're in their house, basically, and then in return, most countries in the world that are like civilized are fucking really respectful and nice people, and usually have awesome cultures. But yeah, I would go to Japan. I would encourage anyone to go there. If you're looking to travel, obviously, and you had to pick one country that's not an English speaking country, I would 100% recommend.
Oh, of course,
Japan.
Would you say, like, is there anywhere particular in the world that like you've always wanted to go to or still want to go to? Or
Norway.
Okay.
Norway, because I want to do a whole Europe tour, like a Euro trip.
Right.
But Norway is where my dad's side of the family traveled from. I think I'm like 2 or 3 generations removed, because they immigrated here from Denmark and from Norway. But my grandma, her family owned a hotel chain in Norway called the Sandvin Hotel. You could look it up. I don't even know if her family still. I'm sure someone in their family manages it, but yeah, her family owns a hotel chain there, and their family then moved to Minnesota, and then started a farm there and everything like that, and that's why I go there, and my whole family there. But I want to go to Norway because I have Scandinavian roots, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Like, I would love to go there, get a nice little cabin out in the mountains or something like that with my brothers. And my kids too, maybe, because my kids, I mean, I gave them the most Scandinavian names ever, Olin and Thorin, which is like, just sounds like Lord of the Rings when you hear that. But basically, I would love to take them there. My cousin actually went there. I think he's actually there right now. He's either there right now or he's definitely going at some point in July here.
Right.
He's visiting there right now, and he lives in Minnesota, so that'll be the first time he goes. I would love to go to Norway sometime.
Nice.
And most of Europe too, though. What about you? I mean, what about you guys? Like, you had to pick, let's say non-English speaking and then English speaking country.
Oh boy, Rich, I'll let you go first.
Man, I don't know. I don't even see that. That question is rough, because just heritage-wise, Sweden or Switzerland, probably one of my favorites to go to.
Ooh.
Just because of my great grandmother literally coming from there, and just for like Christmas, we do it on Christmas Eve because that's a tradition that is done, which I'm not complaining. My dad's not Swedish. I get it on, listen, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I'm not going to complain. We just have a lot of dishes that we have. I think it'd just be nice to go there and actually embrace it, kind of. Just to actually get a feel for it. So that's probably number one on my list, just in general.
Yeah.
Nice. For me, I already been there. It was Rome. It was always 100% Rome, and then when I went there, like I mentioned, there wasn't much to do there. It was more just to chill out, relax, even if it meant just spending a day in a hotel. Whole 2 weeks, it was just chilling out. And I enjoyed every bit of it. So, yeah. In terms of, like, English speaking, no.
Australia is gonna. I'm excited for Australia because it's like, I almost feel like it's less weird to go to a country that doesn't speak your language than to go to one that does speak your language, but A, has different terms, and B, has a different accent altogether. So it's like when I go to Australia, people are gonna hear my voice and think I sound like a fucking, like, kind of like them, but not enough. I sound like an alien to them, and I like in the UK, you guys call apartments like flats and stuff like that, right? Like you guys have a lot of different terminology. I think British people call them flats.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
the saddest thing about that is like, because of most of the people I talk to are American, so like I sometimes gas over here is called like petrol and stuff like that, but I call it gas, and my dad always looks at me like, "What the fuck did you just say?" And I was like, I meant petrol. Sorry. And then we'd go to my aunt's apartment, and he'll go, "It's her flat, not her apartment, son. It's her flat." And I was like, okay. I'm just so used to talking so much American stuff now, in terms of like how you guys say things like,
"Oh my
flats
God,
or apartments or petrol is gas." Like I'm used to saying what you guys say the majority
Do you
of
guys
the time now.
do you guys call beer grog, or is that just an Australian thing?
No, we
Or
call beer beer.
they call it getting on the piss. Like, cause I've hung out like my two Australian. The reason why I'm going there is because I have Australian buddies who I spent time with at Rabbit's place in Florida this past winter, and they just talk so differently. Where they'd be like, I'll say like, "Hey, let's go out drinking." They'd be like, "Let's go get on the piss." You know what I mean? Or like, they just say stuff like completely different. It's fun.
That's somewhat similar to what we say. Like we don't say "let's get on the piss." We just say "let's get on it." Come on, we say "let's get pished." Like that's what we say.
Yeah. So it's a little different, but yeah.
Yeah. But
well, man, I'm excited for you to be able to experience the U.S. and New Jersey's
thanks, man.
definitely one of, I would say, the you're not gonna have a bad time. We'll put it that way. There are some states that if you went to, I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know about that." Like, like if you chose like, I don't know, some random shit like North Dakota. I don't know. I'm just thinking of a random one. Shout out to my aunt.
I don't even know all the states.
Exactly.
Man.
There
I
are some
didn't even know
states that
was a
you
place.
just don't. Some states you literally don't even like. You forget because they're so forgettable, and there's like barely any people that live there. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, no.
New Jersey's pretty cool.
Even then, it's like, cause Tim, this like trip has been changed like 4 times because it was for our friend's graduation. It was originally Tokyo. We were all fucking broke as shit, so none of us could have done it. Then it was just Florida, but then that stuff changed because we wanted to do stuff that we hadn't done. A lot of us had already done, mostly all of us, at least anyway, as far as I'm aware, had done Disney and Universal, all of that stuff. And then we're like, let's go on a cruise. And we were about to book it, but at that time, a lot of us, like, there was going to be 9 of us, but then, like, 5 of us backed out. So it was going to be me, Caleb, Rage, and one of our other friends, Adrian. And we basically, I was about to book it. Like, we had the money, we were set to go. But then it said, no, that if there is anyone that is under the age of 21, they've got to be accompanied by someone over the age of 24. At that point in time, me and Rage, I'm 21 already, Rage is turning 21 this month. Caleb's still 20, and I know Adrian is also still 20 at that time, so we're like, well, fuck, there's nothing we can do. So, New Jersey was more of like a cheap little thing. Well, cheaper, I should say. Which a lot of us would be able to go to. And a lot of us were like, there's not going to be much to do there. But like as times went by, we are a lot more excited to go. Just because there's a lot of us going. Like again, like I mentioned, there's myself, Caleb, Birdie JK, Legends actually going as well. Rage, like there's a lot of us going, so we're all dead excited, and we're going to meet Joe actually at Six Flags in New York. So it's going to be a lot of us, and we're quite excited for it. So it's going to be nice.
Yeah. Are you guys allowed to drink underage? Or I don't mean underage. I mean, like, are you allowed to drink in Scotland under the age of 21?
Yeah. So the legal age for us in Scotland is at 18.
Well, that's actually the case for most countries in the world, and I think it's just annoying having to wait to 21 here, to be honest.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, man. I don't think waiting 3 extra years is gonna be saving lives that many more or anything like that. It's just like, bro, if people are gonna get booze, they're gonna get booze. Like, I used to literally ask my older brother to go get me fucking bottles of whiskey when I was 18, and he would just do it for me. And like, what? Like, what do we do? That's
Yeah,
a
no,
totally.
I'm a
total
lightweight.
tangent.
Me personally, I'm not really like a huge drinker. Like all my
Yeah, I don't
family,
blame you.
like my family members, they're not really either. But like if they're like if it's like a special occasion, like a wedding, a party, something like that, like they'll drink. Me personally,
Yeah.
I will too. But like even then, the majority of the time, I'm just like, nah, I'll pass. I don't really like the taste of like alcohol and stuff. Like the only
Well,
thing
yeah,
is,
it is literally poison. So
it is
yeah.
like the only thing I would really drink is like a Coke with vodka or something. Like it's pussy type shit. That
Yeah,
sounds
you
chat.
could make like a nice cocktail and actually enjoy it.
Yeah, like
there's
that-
some options.
Yeah, like that's literally the only thing you'll see me drinking. Like again, like I said, as much as that's quite pussy shit, as some people might say, like I'm really not a drinker. But like, that's
Will you be
really the only thing I
21
drink.
by the time you come to the States? Did you?
I know I turned 21 2 months ago.
Look at his
you're-
micro
oh,
lights,
well,
I'll tell
perfect.
you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you can go out to a restaurant with your buddies and order a cocktail.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
yeah, that's
Like you don't
probably
even
what
have
I'll
to.
end up
Don't
doing.
even get there. There's so many good options. Like if, dude, even like one of the most mid restaurants, you could go to like a Chili's or like a fucking like an Applebee's, dude. Just go there and just ask for. They'll have like a ton of. Every restaurant has like cocktail options,
Yeah.
and there's something you'll like for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, definitely will be. Yeah, no, Rich, I get it. I'm 21, and Christ almighty, as much as I am older than you, I get it. I still look fucking 12. You don't need to point it out, okay, dude?
Listen, it's okay.
Or hell.
It's fine to be like 5'3". It's okay.
I never got asked for ID once in my life, surprisingly, because every single person I see at my work always asks me saying, are you training? I'm like, no, I'm full-time here. Like, I
Oh.
A
Man,
lot-
yeah.
a lot of people think like I'm too young, and it's like, oh, I see you new. I'm like, no, I've been here for 3 years now. I immediately like I didn't do the best in school, but it like I was quite lucky to get the job that I had. So mine was like during COVID, so I had to do online courses, unfortunately, but I learned on the job as well, and I got it. So I'm quite happy with my job, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something better for me out there, which I will hopefully find.
Yeah,
one day.
yeah, 100%, man.
Definitely.
If it makes you feel any better, I still get ID'd all the time, like literally every single time. So.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. Like, I never got ID'd. Like, a lot of people like straight up ask me like, "Am I of age?" But like when I go into like places like bars, pubs, stuff like that, like I never get asked for ID, which is shocking to me. But I'm gonna guess like it's because I really don't. Me personally, I don't get alcohol. The only time that I was ever asked for ID was when I got my father Resident Evil 4 remake at the fucking game store, and I was like, "Are you for real?" I was in shock. I was like, out of all the places, this is where I get pulled up for ID. Because my father, he loves the Resident Evil games, and he hadn't
Yeah.
played the remakes or stuff, so I was going to get him that for his Christmas. And when I went to go out to get some Christmas gifts, and I got in, the guy was like, "Can I see your ID?" And I'm like, "Fuck." I was like, like that's the first time I get asked for my ID. Buying Resident Evil 4, not even alcohol, I get asked. Which,
Damn.
it's something, man. Guys, you should review Skibbity
Confirmed.
Toilet. That's a ban.
Okay, what the fuck?
That's a ban. That's a ban in my chat.
I've never been ID'd. It's probably because I'm 6'5" and 20, but that's besides the point. I've always been tall. I think
Wait,
maybe
so
like,
what would you be ID'd for though? If you can't buy alcohol. So have you gone to Have you gone to buy alcohol and they didn't ID you?
I
That's
haven't
crazy.
been caught yet. All right.
What?
That's actually insane, dude. That's insane.
There's one in my fridge right now.
How the fuck?
Never been
man?
caught. I'm 6'5". I'm a big guy.
Well, here's the thing. If you did get caught, that would not be good.
Rich, what would you do in
No,
that situation?
I-
You'd be shitting yourself.
That is real. That is lucky, man.
I only did it twice though, so it's not bad. I hate
Oh,
drinking.
God.
They've been in this fridge for months. I hate them. They're disgusting.
Then why'd you keep them?
I don't drink. I'm gonna dump them out.
Oh God, son. All right.
I have a grandmother. she worse than me.
The ID to gamble in New Jersey.
Yeah, that's what Brad's asking.
You need to be 21, I think, right?
I think you have to be 21 to gamble legally everywhere. But I don't know, but I would just assume that.
There's some weird
Because-
cherry
yeah.
lane loophole where you can be 18, but other than that, it is
Oh,
21.
well, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I went to Vegas and I was gambling underage at the casino. I was granted, I was just doing slots, but yeah, they'll kick you out if they catch you. At least in Vegas, that's for sure. New Jersey, I have no idea. I don't know either.
But yeah, Bridge. Do you have anything else to say? Sick.
Dude, I'm all over the place. I had to turn. I've been turning around every 5 seconds to have a conversation. I'm all over the place right now. No, not really.
It's all good.
Kind of chilling.
Tim,
Oh,
anything?
it's 18 and you can gamble when you're 18 in Wisconsin. That's crazy.
What? Most places to gamble
Wow.
are 21 in the States.
I'm checking New Jersey law right now.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure the States has, New Jersey has 21, bro.
Well, I mean, I know some states change it, like, because I go to South Carolina because I have family down there, and buying, like, alcohol and shit's 18 still, and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Damn,
So I
that's
feel like
nuts.
some states, they just
Oh,
change it
man.
because they feel like it.
Well, yeah, like I said, we're a bunch of prudes here in America. Like, if you go to Japan, man, everything's legal. Prostitution's legal. Whorehouses are legal.
Shit's
Massage
wild and-
parlors, if you catch my drift, those are legal.
With happy endings, those cool guys.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah.
Damn.
Well,
That's
I don't know
crazy.
if you'll be able to gamble in New Jersey, but
Well, I
21
mean,
for
some
New Jersey.
some of us will. The others will probably just stay inside.
I know I
Um,
will.
I know you will be. Wavy will. also be
$100
inside.
going down the drain so fast. Let's go.
Fucking Christ. Tim.
but that is no. I mean, like I appreciate you guys having me on. It was
No
a fun
problem,
time for
bro.
sure. I mean, it feels like a conversation that I would. I don't really I talk to people, obviously. You know, but in the format of a podcast like this, I think it's especially cool. It just obviously feels like a normal convo, but at the same time, I don't really have too many of them these days. Most of my conversations I have are with toddlers, which aren't really conversations. It's more like me saying something and then having someone yell at me. So, but yeah, no, it was a fun time. And thanks for having me on. Z4C was really fun.
I'm
And
glad, man. I'm glad.
yeah, I think people will enjoy this combo when
Yeah.
they rewind it here. And
Yeah.
also shout out to you, Brad, for sticking through all of this. I've been reading you in the chat the entire
Yes,
time. for the
Brad.
record.
Mr.
B-Rad,
Mr. B-Rad, the man, the goat. We love.
And everyone else who's here, obviously, too. But Brad's been typing the entire time, and I've been reading
Yeah.
you. I've just I'm trying to, yeah. And good luck with your American endeavor.
I will try. I will try. Next year, next year is really the goal. I've just got way too much.
Go to Chick-fil-A.
I will. Tim, I'll take a picture.
I'll
I'll
keep
add
him
it
on
on your
track.
tour. I'll let you know. I will let you know.
we're both flying into New York, so I'll make sure he gets it while we're there.
Yeah.
I will let you know. But yeah, guys, thank you all so much for watching this episode of the Shitezcast. I want to give huge shout outs to Tim for joining this episode of the Shitezcast. It was great having you, Tim. It was great having a nice convo with you. And of course,
Likewise.
shout out to my other host, Rage, as well. But if you guys did enjoy, please do go check out Tim's stuff. He will be linked in the description. Along with that, please do go check out Rage on his Twitch as he streams over there. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you all did enjoy. And we will see you all next week on next week's episode of the Shitezcast.
Have a good day,
we'll see you then.
guys.
And goodbye, everyone.
Adios.
Clarky Shah here. Welcome back to the live stream. Today I'm back.
Yeah.
Today...
I feel like Clark would be an okay femboy. Like, let's be real. Like, that boy would be a twink and a half.
What's good, pussies?
Oh, tetanus, tinnitus.